everyone, and welcome to a special edition of First Impression Sports Talk. I'm your host, Jasmine Pollock, and tonight we are going to get into the draft. So I'm really excited for you guys. We're going to have a lot of talk about this. I have a lot of great guests, so let's get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to First Impression Sports Talk. I'm your host, Jasmine Pollock, and tonight we're going to enjoy a night of football of many great prospects out of college and a lot of our NFL favorite teams. So let's bring on Jeremiah and let's have a little conversation. So tonight, Jeremiah, you're in charge of the trades. We're going to be talking a lot of different things about who's going to trade and if we do have any. So this is the first round. So Jeremiah, what are you expecting tonight for this draft, or what are we looking at? What type of first round do you think we're going to have?
First of all, I think that this round right here is going to be a mix up, and I feel like it's going to be a lot of trades this draft. I feel like I could be wrong, but I'm hoping that there is some, because I just know that a lot of teams are going to be looking to get a lot of moves and try to move up in this draft, or just even try to get their second rounds so a lot of other teams can move up, maybe even the Miami Dolphins.
Miami Dolphins, first of all, they had their first round revoked because of your owner. There's no way they're going to get a first round pick this year. No way. You just have to wait till the second round, Jeremiah. I'm sorry about it. So let's shout out some of our guests that are on, and we can bring them on as I mentioned them. Dr. Cedric Brown, he's a Giants fan. He's going to be talking with us a lot. Jeremiah, as you guys have met. And then we have Cole. Shout out to Cole because he is concussion, but he will be on here talk about Steelers along with our producer, Dr. Jay. We have Akeem, who is a Bucks fan, and then we have my father, who's also a Bucks fan. So we're going to get into a lot of things, and of course, me. We all know I'm a Seahawks and Packers fan, so I'm really excited. But before we get into who's on the clock, which is the Panthers, let's talk about some of the news that has come out. So we're going to start with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has been traded to the Jets. Now, we all know, like I said, I'm a Packers fan. We've been waiting for this deal to happen. And I did say on my show last week that this trade would be done before the draft. Didn't I not say that, Jeremiah? I said this was going to happen before the draft. So let's get into some of the details. So when we look at this, we have Aaron Rodgers, who's been with the Packers since 2005, one of the best quarterbacks ever. So the Jets receive Aaron Rodgers plus a 2023 pick, which is first round pick number 15, and a fifth round pick as well. My Packers receive a 2023 pick number 13, and that is the first round. So we get the 13th pick, we get number 42, and we get number 207. And also they receive a 2024 second round pick that converts to a first if Rodgers plays 65% of the plays. So Aaron Rodgers is in New York, in the Big Apple. Jeremiah, what is your take on this, and what impact does this have on the Packers and the Jets?
I would just say what my words for it is just finally. I mean, both teams can now move on to where now they are going to their destinated futures right now. And for Green Bay, I feel like they got greatness out of this deal. They got some great draft picks. They moved up 2 spaces in this draft right here. Then they have more draft picks for next year, and maybe could even get a higher first round if Aaron plays 65%, which he's most likely going to do.
Of course.
And I just feel like for the Jets, it's a sign of relief that now he has signed the pen to the paper already. Now that the deal is already done to where the trade is already happened. So now they can move on, have their off season for him to actually be there. And so the chemistry can get up and they can actually build this team and do what they build out to do, which was get Aaron and also put the different assets around him to make him feel comfortable.
Absolutely. And just to piggyback off of what you said, the This is the first time Aaron has had a top defense since he won the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Jets were ranked in the top 5 last year in defense. They have a very good young receiving core, of course, with Garrett Wilson out of Ohio State. He was drafted last year. This will be his second year. And then, of course, a very good young running back in Breece Hall. So I'm really excited. Now, tonight, I have the Jets going offensive tackle because I think they need to work a little bit on their offensive line. And, of course, when you have a veteran quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, you need to work on your O-line.
Yes.
Let's get into the next conversation. Now, this broke like 2 hours before the show started. Lamar Jackson finally gets an extension and becomes the highest paid NFL player in history. So he usurped Jalen Hurts. He got $260 million for 5 years. So Jeremiah, what implication was this? They finally got the deal done. Him and his mom went in there and said, "We need this deal done now," and they got it done 2 hours before.
Yes, to me, just like I was just saying for the Jets deal and the Green Bay, this is a greatness from Lamar and the Baltimore Ravens, a sign of relief. At the end of the day, this thing is done. It's enough of these rumors that keep coming out about the certain money that was offered and the different people that are involved. Right now, I am just so glad that they were able to get a deal done. Now, to me, I didn't think that they were going to exceed what they have given Jalen Hurts, what the Eagles have given Jalen Hurts, only because I just feel like what Jalen Hurts just did, and I felt like he earned. Not saying Lamar didn't, but still at the same time, Lamar had a previous years of injuries, and I just feel like I would have him at over a 200 million, but not more than Jalen Hurts. But for them to get that deal done, I mean, hats off to him, his mom, and for them to standing his ground to actually go through this whole time, even with the scrutiny through the media and all the different things that's happening with the rumors, to get it done.
Absolutely. Again, that is $260 million. Jalen Hurts $255 million. So before we bring on Dr. Cedric Brown to talk a little bit about his time, let's talk about the $255 million that Jalen Hurts received. So his agent, we was waiting to see what Jalen was going to get because, this was Jalen's second year. He took his team to the Super Bowl in his second season. So the question was, will he get an extension? Yes, they got the deal done for Jalen. So he has 5 years, 255, 179 points of that is guaranteed, making him the highest paid player at the time until Lamar got this deal. So his agent, Nicole Lynn, she gets 3% of that, and that's $7.65 million. She gets 3% of that deal. So she got the deal done as a female agent, and he has an all-female cast. Can you believe it? So I'm really excited for Jalen. What does this implicate for Jalen Hurts?
Well, for me, right now, his families is very, very in a great place right now. And I just feel like for the Eagles, they have found their guy, and they knew it. I would just say just from the start of this whole year to where he buys in his hard work and plus everything that he has earned down the line. And I just feel like for this organization, having him to be, the highest player just for this, of course, this week, but still the way that he carries himself just as a young man, representing the best example, having an all-female management behind him, and him performing at a big level. You already seen when it came to this other draft before, he was an underdog coming in, under a lot of the other quarterbacks. But he shined this year, and they know we have something brewing, and they said we can get to that next step and even make it back to the Super Bowl in their mind.
Absolutely. And this is really exciting because Jalen in his second year was able to take the team to the Super Bowl. Huge. So let's bring on Dr. Cedric Brown. We are currently watching the draft, and we're going to see the Panthers are currently on the clock with the first pick in the draft. So Dr. Cedric Brown, welcome to this first impression special. Give us a little bit of thoughts about what we're expecting in this draft.
Well, the first thing is I think that everything that you and Jeremiah have talked about is spot on, right? With the trade, with the contract coming in for Lamar Jackson, I believe that was the right thing for Baltimore to do, right? Why would you have a quarterback with his versatility and his abilities, why would you not pay him the money that he is deserving of? And one of my former Giants is now a Baltimore Raven in Odell Beckham Jr., right? And you give Odell Beckham Jr., I think $15 million for 1 year. And everybody, talks about, did Odell Beckham Jr. know or did he not know? Well, behind the scenes, I'm sure that Lamar and Odell Beckham had some kind of conversations like, hey, man, I'm
Yes.
coming in here. I've got myself back together. The knee is still it's good. I'm back to where I was before, and so now we have to get back to business, so to speak. But with regards to the 25th pick, which is my New York City Giants, if they can if they can still get Mr. Quentin Johnson from TCU, who is a big time threat, 6'3", runs a sub 4.5 40. He's a big target. Daniel Jones just got $160 million.
Yep.
We need to have someone that is dynamic out there, a pass catcher that can catch passes and get the ball up the field. So I'm excited about what the Giants are going to do, and I'm hoping that a wide receiver of Quentin Johnson's caliber is still on the board at that time.
Absolutely. I think the Giants would very much so need that. On top of that, they get Darren Waller as well in a trade
Absolutely.
with Las Vegas Raiders. So that's really, really exciting for the Giants. So the Giants are stacking. They're only getting better, and they have a lot of young pieces that I feel on defense that are still excelling at a high level. So I'm really excited for what the Giants are going to do. And on top of that, my mom is a Giants fan, so she's probably going to be really excited to hear that. But let's bring on the Bucs fans in the group, Akeem and my father, Johnny Pollock. So let's talk about the Bucs. So let's bring them on, Dad and Akeem. So, Dad, I'll start with you. You're a Bucs fan. Unfortunately, the Broncos don't have a first-round pick this year. So, Dad, what are you expecting the Bucs to do? Which direction are they going?
It's kind of hard, man, because it almost feels like a rebuilding stage for us right now. I mean, Tom Brady left. I mean, that experience when he was here was an amazing experience. When the Super Bowl run, it's like the life is just out of a lot of the team. Now we have a lot of unknowns. And one of the things, with the signing of Baker Mayfield, I would really have liked for Trask to be the new face, the new guy, because I really would like to have a guy that's been developed in the franchise, somebody we drafted to go up through the ranks, But I think the Bucs we really need their pieces, in my opinion. The receiving core needs some work as well, but it's hard for me to really pinpoint that because I delivering the ball. I don't even know what the identity of our team is going to be now. With some of the rumors circulating around about Devin White wanting to possibly get a trade or looking at other teams, that's kind of a concern for me as a fan. So I mean, deep.
Well, I think we lost my dad. He'll be back. But Akeem, just to piggyback off what my dad was saying, you're a Bucs fan. What are you expecting the Bucs to do also heading into this draft? What are you expecting them to do?
So one thing I believe that we're looking for is, of course, can we rely on Cal Trask? Okay, we do have Baker Mayfield. We just signed Baker Mayfield, but will he be able to deliver to us? Because he has to know the system. Cal Trask has been under Tom Brady. He knows the system, and we trust more of Kyle Trask to give us to that place that we're trying to go.
Absolutely. And as a Gators fan, it does pain me because I watched Kyle Trask play, and I'm just a little appalled why they haven't, given him the opportunity to play. I think he can play. I just think he's been under the system. I think out of all the quarterbacks that were drafted that same year as him, I think he has the best situation because he played underneath Tom Brady, which is the GOAT. So I hope we get to see it. I hope there's a quarterback battle there in Tampa, but we're definitely going to see what's going to happen. But Right now, you guys, the Panthers are still on the clock. We're still waiting for that pick. The pick is not in yet, but they're on the clock. So we'll definitely see what the Panthers are going to go. So the last and final guest we have is Jay, who is a Steelers fan. So we have also Cole watching. Shout out. He'll be on later to talk about his Steelers more in depth when they're on the clock. But let's bring on Jay and let's have a conversation about his Steelers, because I know, hey, they haven't made the playoffs. Let's see what's going to happen. But they've had a winning season under Mike Thomas. So Jay, talk a little bit about your Steelers and who do you think they should pick tonight? Can't hear you, Jay.
Offensive linemen there, they got to take them a left tackle, but there's either the elite at the guy from Northwestern and I forget who. If not, I think they got to go defensive back, Porter, if he's there.
I agree, and I have them getting a tackle and a cornerback because it's been some years where the Steelers, and I think the Steelers and Ravens are kind of in a similar boat where their defense has to be a lot better for their offenses. And those franchises have always had top defenses, and they've taken a dip the past couple of years. So I really want to see what the Steelers and the Ravens are going to do, being that they re-sign Lamar, they get Odell. Then, of course, the Steelers, they drafted pretty well last year and got some good pieces. So we still have the Panthers on the clock. So let's
that pick is in.
Oh, the pick is in. So right now, the pick is in. So we're going to see who the Panthers are going to pick. Now, I'm assuming that they're going to get a quarterback. Now, in my mind, I want them to get C.J. Stroud from Ohio State because I think he is the best quarterback in this draft, but I think they're going to get Bryce Young. So let's bring on Jeremiah. Let's bring on Dr. Cedric Brown and talk a little bit about this Panthers pick. So the pick is in. So, Jeremiah, let's start with you. What is the Panthers going to do? Oh, the pick is in. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Bryce Young is a Carolina Panther. He goes to the Panthers. I just said it. So, Bryce Young is a Panther. So, Dr. Cedric Brown, Jeremiah, I'll start with Dr. Cedric Brown. What is your take on Bryce Young being a Panther?
I think it's a good pick because, he comes from a lineage at Alabama that has a core understanding of what high level football is. And, with the head coach of the Texans came down and was the offensive coordinator for the past 2 years. So he really understands how to put his players in positions to be successful. And I think that Bryce Young is a very good pick. It doesn't matter, his size. Doug Flutie was a small quarterback back in the day and played really well. If you think about Mike Vick was not a big quarterback and played well. So I think that Carolina has done a remarkable job in their homework. Everything about him character-wise is on point. His work ethic is impeccable. So I think that is a good pick for the Carolina Panthers.
And not to mention, he's a Heisman Trophy winner. Of course, he's under Nick Saban, and he's able to, have that experience being under Coach Saban, and now he's a Panther. And the Panthers have done a phenomenal job of getting good people. They add Adam Thielen. They also get Miles Sanders from the Eagles. So they have some weapons that they're building in Carolina, which is going to be very scary for the NFC South. So, Jeremiah, now that Bryce Young is a Panther, we look at the division of the AFC South, a very not so good division last year. And now you have at quarterback Derek Carr, Baker Mayfield, Marcus Mariota, and now Bryce Young. So how is that going to look?
My thing is anybody's division at that point. To me, the reason I say that is because Derek Carr, you don't know what you're going to get from him on any day, really, because he can give you great strives, but at the same time, can he get you all the way to the playoffs at certain points? And also, when it comes to Bryce Young, I love this opportunity for him and everything else, especially with him going to Carolina.
Yeah.
I feel like for him, he has that great discipline inside of him. The only thing I do worry about, just like when it came to Tua and also for Kyler, is just his size at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Now, he is a shorter man, but I'm pretty sure when he's going to build himself up more bulkier, getting inside after maybe his second or third year, but he still has that discipline from when he was playing with Nick Saban, just like how Tua did, just like how Mac Jones did. I mean, it's just a certain thing to where it's that toughness when you get inside to where you already know it's like really no question, no diva-ness. And I just feel like he has his head on right, knows what he wants to do, and I feel like he's gonna buy into this culture, and they got the right guy for that.
And they're building around them. So right now, the pick is in for the Texans, who has the second pick in the draft. So we're gonna see what the Texans are gonna get. So what I said, I think the Texans quarterback. That is who they need. I think CJ Stroud is the best available. I think, me personally, I think CJ Stroud is the best quarterback out of the quarterbacks right now.
Yes.
No disrespect to Bryce Young, because I think he's phenomenal. And then, of course, my guy, Anthony Richardson out of Florida. But I think CJ Stroud is the best fit. And I think the Texans also did a very good job of getting a lot of good pieces around. They get Dalton Schultz at tight end. Of course, they get a new quarterback, not a new quarterback, coach from the 49ers, which is really, really exciting for them. Black head coach. We don't have many of those in the NFL. So the pick is in. So we're going to see who the Texans are going to get. I'm picking a quarterback, and I think it's going to be CJ Stroud. Jeremiah, what do you think?
I have the same thing going. I feel like CJ Stroud is going to get this. Being second, he's a very physical guy. Well, I would just say he moves out the pocket very good, has great legs, and I feel like they're gonna get a good guy in CJ.
Accuracy and arm. And we're still waiting for the pick, so we're just waiting.
Hey, Jazzy, don't be surprised if Houston can change the course of the draft, right? If they go with Jalen Carter,
that's true too.
If they go with a defensive lineman and they go with Jalen Carter, that's going to throw the entire draft off.
Yeah, even a defensive end, I wouldn't be mad.
Now, but think about this: the Texans head coach was the 49ers defensive coordinator, so that is a good point. But I'm just saying, who's throwing the ball back there? So I mean, I'm picking CJ Stroud, but I'll be, oh man,
it'll be a good pick either way. But you know, hey, Mr. Carter is a bull in a china shop and a force to be reckoned with. Absolutely.
So the pick is still in, but let's talk a little bit about will the Panthers win the division?
Too early to tell. I mean,
too early.
Yes, I mean they have great young pieces. I mean they're going to be building up to something, but they're still going to be. I still feel like they're going to be small pieces away. But I wouldn't be surprised if they hit that second spot. I wouldn't be surprised.
Start, but ooh man. So hold on, I'm still looking. CJ Stroud. What I said it.
You called it.
CJ Stroud is a Texan. He is the quarterback now for the Houston Texans. I just knew how it was shaping up. The Texans need somebody. They need a quarterback, and this is the best fit for them. I think, like I said, CJ Stroud is the best quarterback in this division, and I know my roommate Trinity and everybody, they're really excited about this because they're Ohio State fans, so they're really excited to see him get drafted. So shout out to CJ Stroud. He had a heck of a season with Ohio State, literally a field goal away of making it to the national championship on Georgia.
Yeah.
So that's really huge for them. And currently we have the Cardinals on the clock. So let's bring on my dad. We're going to talk a little about the Cardinals. So the Cardinals, Dad, where do you think the Cardinals are headed? Where do you think, what do they need in order to be successful?
Well, for me, the Cardinals, they have pieces in place. I think the Cardinals just have an execution problem. You know, well, yeah, I mean, but they paid him a substantial amount of money, so they're kind of stuck with him right now. I think they do need to look at their defense to shore up some more possessions to slow some teams down. But them, it's kind of hard for me to read them. You know, when they let Hopkins go, I didn't understand that move.
Yeah, they did let him go. That's another thing.
Yeah.
So
So I didn't
and then
understand that move
Brown
with
or
you.
not AJ Green retired also.
Yeah.
He's,
So I
he
think they're another team that's trying to figure out their identity and what they want to do. And that coach is no longer there either.
no. Mm-mm.
So they're in a situation now. It's going to be kind of hard to figure out how they're going to go right now because things are changing in that with that franchise. So
Absolutely.
I'm really at a loss for where I don't know which way they're going to go because the different philosophy now. So I don't know.
Also, not to mention, Buda Baker, their star safety, he requested a trade. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see them go for a safety. But if I'm the Cardinals, they definitely need a running back. They've
Yeah,
had a couple of years where they never had a solid running back, and I think Bijan Robinson out of Texas would be very good because I really like that kid.
Yes,
He was the best
yes,
running back out of
yeah,
yes.
college. He stood out. So
I agree. I agree because
yeah.
especially what he did against Alabama in
yeah,
that game. I mean, he was just lightning quick all around that field, and
he's
he was just
physical. He's 5'11", 215 pounds. So I mean, we'll see. And he can catch out the backfield. He's a very good catch out the backfield, and that's in doubt. We see that trend happening with the running backs now, where they're catching out of the backfield
That's the
now.
new age. That's the
So
new age of the running back. Yep, guys who can get out of the backfield, be a matchup nightmare, and
yeah.
catch the ball at a high level. Yep.
So right now the Cardinals are on the clock. We're gonna go to a short break, and when we come back, the pick should be in. I'm thinking they should go running back, but I would not be surprised. I do have them running back or defensive end or tackle. So I'm gonna see. We're gonna see what's gonna happen. So when we come back, we're gonna see who the Cardinals pick.
I'm Leon Thomas with the Leon Thomas Group. Podcast, virtual events, webinars, streaming shows, and so much more. We want to be your partner in all things virtual.
So the Cardinals, welcome back to First Impression Sports Talk. We're here on a draft special, and again, we still have the Cardinals still on the clock. The time is actually ticking. It seems like they're taking quite a bit of time to talk. But Akeem, welcome. So let's talk a little bit about the Cardinals. Where do you think the Cardinals are going to go, and what their biggest need is? Can't hear you, Akeem.
Like we were just talking about, but John Robinson is a great running back. I believe that that will probably be one of the best picks. Also, they still have Will Anderson on the board.
That's true too.
Still
Yep.
on the board. Remember, J.J. Watt is no longer there. They need some help on the defensive side of the ball. So I wouldn't be surprised if they also pick Will Anderson, a great nature. Yes.
Yeah, I agree. And pick is still not in, so we're waiting to see. I don't know what the Cardinals are doing. I just think right now when we look at the Cardinals organization, they are they're teetering a little bit. I know they drafted Kyler Murray, and there was a lot of things that they hoped for, but right now it just seems like the organization is not moving in the right direction. Of course, we had the controversy with Kyler Murray, his contract clause, him not studying hard enough, and different things like that. So we'll definitely see. Like my dad said, they need some receivers. They need some pass catches because, of course, AJ Green is gone. He retired. Don't know what's going to happen with D-Hop. There's a lot of conversations going on. Hold on. Wait a second. Do we have a trade?
Wow.
Wait a second. Jeremiah, come on. Hold on a second. Does it look like there's a trade? The Cardinals were just on the board.
Wow. Whoa.
yes.
Wait a minute. Texans back on the board?
Yes.
You know what? Bring back on Dr. Cedric Brown because he might be on to something with the defensive tackle Jalen Carter. Bring back on Dr. Cedric Brown. Dr. Cedric Brown said it best. Are they going defensive tackle? Because if they do,
yes,
Brown, what do you think?
I believe Scheffner just came on and said that the Houston Texans are trading up to try to get to the number 3 pick. So I think that they're going to go number 1 and number 2. And, you know, I heard somebody say Will Anderson, Alabama, or Mr. Carter from Georgia. I wouldn't be surprised if they traded up to get to number 3 so that they can get the 1-2 pick, the 1-2 punch from the quarterback.
The pick is in right now.
Yes.
It is.
Ooh, man. What if they go running back, though?
Bijan is not bad, though. I mean,
he's out of Texas.
He's out of Texas. That wouldn't be bad.
With CJ Stroud, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, so Akeem, where do you think the Texans are going to go? They traded up. The Cardinals, not sure what the Cardinals were doing there, but where do you think the Texans are going?
I can't really tell you. But one thing I would say, I probably wouldn't go running back on this one. With them having Damian Pierce out of Florida.
That's true too. Yeah.
Guys like that, I would not pick a running back right now. I wouldn't.
Okay.
I mean, they need, you know,
they need
wide receiver,
yes,
defensive end, a cornerback, and an offensive tackle.
Yep. So the pick is in. Will Anderson Jr. out of Alabama is now a Texan. Dr. Cedric Brown called it. He is an outside linebacker, and I did have them getting a linebacker later, but man, he is a big deal. So the Houston Texans, they went offense, they got their future quarterback, and now they have an offense or outside linebacker.
Outside,
right now,
he's an edge rusher, boy. He's something else.
Yes.
He's an edge rusher. He gets it done.
And hey, defense, Nick Saban knows how to breed those guys. He knows how to build those guys up on the defensive side of the ball. So the Texans, hey, could they win the division? What are you guys thinking?
I don't know.
Win the division?
I don't know about that yet.
Hey, Coach Miko, he trying to get something done there. First year there, he trying to get it done.
Yeah, I mean, hey. And also, you know, he was with a winning coach with Kyle Shanahan with the 49ers. So he has that experience and he knows how to coach defense. But right now, the Colts are on the clock. So the Indianapolis Colts, not the season they hoped for, even though they get Matt Ryan. Dr. Cedric Brown, what are the Colts going to do here?
Anthony Richardson all day.
Anthony Richardson to the Colts.
Anthony Richardson all day.
Yes.
You have to.
That makes me happy because go Gators.
You have to take that Florida boy and you have to put him in. Yes. It doesn't matter that he only played 13, you know, college games, anything like that. You know, that young man is big. He's strong. Mm-hmm. He can stand in the pocket. He has a cannon on his shoulder. And he will grow into that. And the Colts organizations have historically been ones that will take their time and allow their quarterbacks to become, you know, what they are. Peyton Manning, you know, if Andrew Luck had stayed around, right, he would have been a better quarterback, right?
Absolutely.
So I think that's the pick.
Right. And then, of course, you know, with Matt Ryan, he's on, you know, the downside of his career, unfortunately. And, you know, it's not that they've had some in and outs when it comes to quarterbacks. Of course, they had Carson Wentz and that didn't, you know, go too well. Then you get Matt Ryan. And I think I have them going quarterback, but I wasn't thinking my guy because, man, I wouldn't care because know, my guy.
Will Levis would not be the right pick. Will Levis would not be the right pick.
I believe Anthony Richardson is a great pick. Folks. Him He kind of reminds me, give me glimpses of Cam Newton for some reason.
Yes.
Yes.
Glimpses of Cam Newton.
That's a good call. That's a good
The
call.
only thing I can say, being that I seen him play for the year and a half, is his consistency.
Yes.
We know he's athletic. We know how physical he is. We know he can throw. We know he can do a bunch of things, but it's just the consistency that he has, because some games it was like, oh man, Richardson, he's really like, he's that guy. And then there's games where it's like, why would you do that? Like, why would you make that play? So hopefully, you know, if the Colts get my guy, I would be very thrilled. I think he'll be in a good organization. I think they're on a good verge, because they've gotten a lot of good people around them. They have a lot of good things. Of course, Jonathan Taylor back there at running back, you know, he's a security blanket for anybody. So I'm really excited to see what the Colts are going to go here. But let's bring back on Jay and my dad this time. So we're going to talk about the past few picks that just happened. Well, the pick is in for the Colts, so we'll see. So, Dad, you saw what the Texans just did. They get quarterback and then they go defense. So what do you think the Texans, how did they look shaping up in this division?
Well, the Texans, they have a lot of work to do.
Yes.
So I would say that's the right thing for them, because they still have to get under the shadow of Deshaun Watson.
Yep.
That guy's still lingering in the with the Texans, so I think they have to move away. And I think a quarterback in the first round is a step in the right direction. And then the guy they just picked, I think, is going to be a big deal as well, because they're trying to kind of cover it on both ends. You know, they're trying to really take that push to try to be a contender again. So we'll see how that. And as far as the quarterback, you guys were talking about, I forget his name, from the Gators.
Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, him. One thing I like about him is his athleticism.
Yes.
When he played the nose this year, what I saw in him, you know, minus some of his the mistakes he made, he was a problem. He was a problem when he was on. So I think he's going to be a good piece for whoever decides to take him. But I do like his athleticism, and that's kind of where the league is going right now. These guys who are athletic, and he's definitely that, and he throws with some accuracy.
Yes.
So I saw him make some pretty passes. So I think that he would be a good pick.
Yeah. So the pick.
And I know he has a small.
Yeah, the pick is in again for the Colts. We're still waiting. Of course, the first bubble they have is quarterback. So we'll see what happens, because of course Matt Ryan, he's not on the same level as he was. But Jay, where do you think the Colts are going to head in this pick right here? Who do you think they're getting?
I think they're going to get a quarterback, but I don't think Richardson's not the right pick. He would benefit somewhere going like the Jets, New Orleans, maybe, where he could sit for a year and take it in and then take over.
There was a lot of mock drafts that said he could go to the Bucs, though.
I'd take him.
There was a lot of mock drafts.
I'd take him.
Anthony Richardson to the Colts. 6'4", 244 pounds. Go Gators, chomp in the swamp. He is a Colt. So, Dad, Anthony Richardson is a Colt right now. How do you feel?
Well, hey, Matt Ryan's on the hot seat.
That's all I can say. I'm so happy for and real quick, I know this might be last minute, but let's bring on Ramisha, because she's also a Gators fan. So I want to hear a little bit, just a little bit, maybe like 2 seconds or 3 seconds of her talking about the Gators and Anthony Richardson going to the Colts. So Remy, tell us a little bit about how much of a Gators fan you are and that our guy is drafted.
Well, as everybody knows, I love anything Gators, even if they're not, like a pro team. They're my pros. We're happy for any Florida Gators in a draft. So
yes, he's a top 10 pick. Look at that. And honestly, I was not expecting, even though I love him, I was not expecting him to go first round though. I thought he was going to go at least second round, but the Colts took a bargain and, they got their quarterback. They have their future now. I think he's a good pick. I just think he needs to be more consistent. I think he just needs to make his reads a lot better. But if they have a team, they do have weapons around him that I think he could do very well with. So we'll definitely see. But Dad, the Seahawks, my Seahawks are on the board. They're on the clock and we need some defense. I mean, we used to be the 12th man defense, number one defense in the league, and then after Brady, that Super Bowl against Brady, We just haven't been the same. So, Dad, where do you think the Seahawks are going to go? They did make the playoffs this year into the wild card. Geno Smith played very well, but where do you think that Seahawks are going to go, Dad?
So I think with the play of Geno Smith, which was unexpected last year, of course the Seahawks probably expected it, but it was kind of one of them things where Geno basically resurrected his career,
Mm-hmm.
and I still think he's had a pretty decent career because he's been a backup for a long time, which
Mm-hmm.
that's not a bad position to be in, and he's taking advantage of his opportunity. I think the Seahawks need to get back to what we know them for. And let's start to get that defense shored up because Gino did a pretty good job last year with what he had.
Yep.
And now we just need to go ahead and get some extra possessions, get some stops. So I think they need to really focus on defense. And I don't know what you think about their linebacking core right now,
I don't like
but
it much.
so I'm thinking now let's get back to the tradition. You remember Ray Lewis? He was a
Yep.
pretty good linebacker. So I think we need to make a splash and go in there
Yeah,
and get a
yeah,
really good,
we need a Cam Chancellor. We need a
yeah,
Earl Thomas. We need guys like that. We need
a tone setter. Yeah.
people like that on defense. But Dad, honestly, we need a running back too.
Yeah.
Ever since when Marshawn Lynch retired, we haven't had that strong running back like we've had since then. I wouldn't be surprised if we do go Bijan Robinson here from Texas. I think he'd be a good fit. He's the type of running back that I feel that Pete Carroll likes. And I also think that would help Geno Smith a lot. I think we do definitely need a running back, but definitely I want to see us do some defense, either defense or running back. That's what I'm looking at. But let's bring back Dr. Cedric Brown.
Okay.
Yeah. Dad, you can stay on too, but let's bring on Dr. Cedric Brown. My Seahawks are on the clock. What's going to happen, Dr. Cedric Brown, with my Seahawks? Who do you think they're going to go? Which direction?
Jalen Carter from Georgia. From Georgia. Hey, Mr. Pollock, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, how you doing today?
Long time no see.
A long time. Good to see you.
Yes,
I would
sir.
not be surprised because we need some defense. We need some defense.
Absolutely.
We need to get back to that.
The Seahawks are looking for a defensive end, defensive tackle, a cornerback, a wide receiver, and then finally a QB, right?
Yeah.
So now I wouldn't be surprised if they go with my young guy Devin Witherspoon from University of Illinois, and so if they pick University of Illinois, that's my mama squad. That's my mama squad. So if they go to University of Illinois, I'm definitely gonna put that hat on because Devin Witherspoon is one of the top cornerbacks, if not the top cornerback in college football going into the NFL today.
I think he's the best. Honestly, I think he's the best.
And then Gonzalez from Oregon. They some people have it flipped, but hey, Witherspoon he's a monster. He's a monster.
And with my Seahawks, I just feel like we've lost so many people to where, we have to start Richard Sherman. We had a lot of guys like that, and now we have to get back to replacing those guys. We have a trade. Jeremiah, come on. What happened?
Well, these are just I'm giving you updates of just information because you guys already know the Eagles pick at number 10. So there's teams that are looking to move up in this draft to maybe get their place. Teams that are the Patriots, the Packers, the Steelers, the Chargers, Chiefs, and the Titans. So that's
the Packers better not trade nothing. You understand? Don't do anything, Green Bay. Don't do anything with this first round pick. Don't touch it. Don't do anything.
Hey, I'm just a messenger.
Don't listen. I'm going to be upset if the Packers do something crazy. But back to the Seahawks, though. The Seahawks need to replace that same top defense that they had.
They do.
I feel like those guys that we just mentioned, they're talented players, and we add those pieces. I think the Seahawks could be very good next season. And then when we look at the division as a whole, the 49ers, they're still trying to figure out their quarterback situation. There's still a lot of questions they have about that. And then, of course, Matthew Stafford with the Rams, I'm not sure, about his health and different things like that and how he's going to continue to be successful. And then, of course, the Cardinals, they traded away their thing. They traded away their pick. So I don't know where the Cardinals are at. But my Seahawks are in a good spot. I think I was surprised that Geno played as well as he did this year. So Dr. Cedric Brown, the pick is in. The pick is in for the Seahawks.
And it is who?
Where we're going to go. Again, guys, the Seahawks is my second team. I'm super excited to see where they're going. I want defense, but I wouldn't be surprised if we go running back or receiver. I would not be surprised, but I want defense. That's all I want. Defense. Any person, I don't care. We need defense.
Well, when you talk about if you watch the national championship game, or if you watch Georgia play SEC football,
Yes.
'88,
Yes.
he was a man amongst boys.
Yes.
And
yes.
His bull rush, his quick hand, crossover, swim moves. I mean, he was something to be to be dealt with, double teams and things like that. But I really believe that if the Seahawks get Jalen Carter, that that's going to be the foundation of them building something for that defense.
Absolutely.
And Pete Carroll will have more to deal with.
Because I don't think even last year our offense wasn't our weakest link; it was our defense. Yeah. And Gino was he led the league in completions last year. So I mean, it's not the offense. The offense is clicking. It's just let's get back to that defense. But we have some information about trades again. Jeremiah, come back on and talk to us about what's going on, because I'm just the pick is in trade information. Jeremiah, what's going on? Talk to me.
So as you guys know, that the Cardinals, they are looking to move DeAndre Hopkins, of course. So the three favorite teams that they are possibly like in talks with, that I'm just hearing all of this down my timeline, is of course the Chiefs, the Bills, and the Ravens.
If he goes to the Chiefs,
so I'm putting that out. You listen, I am the messenger.
DeAndre Hopkins traded to the Chiefs.
If I'm the Ravens need to do something. Hey, you give Lamar the big contract, you sign Odell. The Ravens need to go get D-Hop for real. I don't want to see him in Kansas City. I don't want to see it.
If he goes to Kansas City, it's going to be a problem.
It's going to be a huge problem.
If D-Hop goes to Kansas City, it's going to be a problem.
Let's bring on Dad. Oh, Devin Witherspoon.
Hey,
let's go. I said defense. We need something.
Hey.
Listen, my Seahawks made a great pick. 6 foot, 181 pounds, out of Illinois. My Seahawks have got their cornerback. I'm really excited for this. Dr. Cedric Brown, you have your hat on. Let's look at this hat.
It is. ILLINI right here.
Super excited for this. Seahawks are doing a good job. Let's go.
Consensus All-American, right? I think he had 5 or 6 picks this year.
Yes.
I mean, he is a shut down corner on his side, and will come up and put the hat on you.
Yes.
And will come up and put the hat on you.
He's very physical.
D-Dub.
So excited. I'm glad. We need that physicality back in Seattle. We do on the defensive side of the ball. But my Seahawks, their next pick is going to be pick number 20. So we'll see if they go get another defense again. So because I think we really heavily need some defense. But let's bring on my dad, because we're not going to forget that news that Jeremiah just told us about D-Hop going to the Ravens or the Chiefs. And I forget the other team. Really doesn't matter. But Dad, DeAndre, he's not back. Okay, so my dad is not here. But let's bring on Akeem. Then and talk about D-Hop potentially being a Chief or a Raven. So, Akeem, what is your thoughts about that? What does that mean?
D-Hop going to the Ravens. One thing, the Ravens are already acquiring OBJ for one.
Yes.
Let's say that. Let's say OBJ is at his top. He's had some time to recover. Now they have D-Hop. That's going to be a powerhouse.
Yes.
That's a powerhouse.
But either way, he makes the team that much lethal. Like if he goes to Kansas City, I mean, I don't know how you're going to stop that with Travis Kelce and all those. And then of course Patrick Mahomes, after they just got back from winning the Super Bowl. And then of course Lamar signed the big contract. If I'm the Ravens, you need to make a deal like that you give Lamar the big contract, you get OBJ, and then you get D-Hop. That would be huge. And I know Ravens fans are on their toes right now. But right now we have the Lions on the clock. When we come back, we'll talk more about the Lions and who they should get, because I think they're going to be a dangerous team heading into next season. When we come back, the Detroit Lions are on the clock, so don't go anywhere. You're watching a special episode of First Impression Sports Talk. Welcome back to Jazz's First Impression Sports Talk. And on the clock, we have the Detroit Lions. So let's talk a little bit about the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions had a number one leading offense last year with Jared Goff and those guys. I mean, they can score, but it's just the defensive side of the ball was the biggest question. Now, of course, towards the end of the season, they started picking it up on defense. And then, of course, they beat my Green Bay Packers the last game of the season where we could potentially got into the playoffs. But I don't like the Lions. Obviously, I'm a Packers fan, but if I am the Lions, I recommend they go cornerback, something on defense like that, either cornerback or defensive tackle, because they traded Jeff Okudah to the Falcons, which was their first round pick a couple years ago out of Ohio State. And he's a very good cornerback, but I just don't think he got on the proper footing due to injury and different things like that. But if I'm the Lions, definitely on the defensive side of the ball, wait a minute. I think we have a trade. Jeremiah, come back on because the Cardinals are now on my screen. The Cardinals, did they just trade?
Yes, they did some compensation of picks. Now, those things are not yet put out there because I know Adam Scheffler, he's going to put those right onto the list for me in 1 second. But I know that they did trade some picks.
So the Cardinals trade away a pick to the Texans and then trade up with the Lions. What are the Cardinals doing?
Listen, for the Cardinals right now, I know for them, they moved down to 30. They had a 33rd pick, and they also had one later in this draft was supposed to be 12. So I'm pretty sure they probably moved that 12th pick.
Yeah.
And they probably did a switcheroo around right now. Actually, 1 second. Let me get the trade in now.
Oh, man. So
the Cardinals are trading up to number 6 with the Lions. So the Lions receive pick 12 and 34.
Huh. That's interesting.
Which is very strange to me because
I'm not sure where the Cardinals are trying to go. Are they trying to go get Jalen Carter? Let's bring on Dr. Cedric Brown. They might try to go defense here, honestly. Dr. Cedric Brown, do you think the Cardinals are going to try to get Jalen? You're muted, Dr. Cedric Brown.
They needed a defensive tackle prior to
I know who they's about to get,
and didn't go that route, right? But you still have Jalen Carter on the board.
Yeah.
I'm happy that the Seahawks picked Devin, right? But Jalen Carter is still on the board. So if you're going to go defense, there's no other defensive stopper on the run than.
But could you say also Tyree Wilson?
Tyree Wilson.
He is still on
Tyree
the board
Wilson
as well.
Out of Texas Tech. Yep.
I don't understand why the Cardinals just okay. Okay.
I mean,
but,
I don't know.
The Cardinals, I don't know.
So they traded their pick. Arizona and the Cardinals have swapped picks.
Yes.
Huh. So we'll see what they're going to do. I think they need to go defense here for sure because I had them. Yeah, definitely. I did have them cornerback at first, and then I have a defensive tackle and then linebacker afterwards. That's really interesting. I wonder what the Cardinals are going to do. I just think also they need a wide receiver as well because, of course, the information you've given us about DeAndre Hopkins and also AJ Green retiring. So who is Kyler Murray going to throw to, Dr. Cedric Brown? Who is he going to throw to?
Well, if they go tight end, I'm gonna go with Michael Mayer from Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Right. Because he's one of the best. He's one of the best tight ends that they have. Good run blocker, runs really good routes. My son is actually in Kansas City right now, and he's a Notre Dame fan, so he would be happy to see Michael Mayer get picked right here by the Cardinals.
So we'll see. So I think, what are the Cardinals going to do? Because they traded down with the Texans.
My
Here he
surprise
is right now.
to go and get up.
Paris Johnson Jr., offensive tackle.
Oh, okay.
Offensive tackle.
He from Ohio State.
He's a big deal, but I wasn't thinking they were going O-line.
Wow, that one's a very questionable one because I thought they was going mostly defense on that one.
I did, and then to think you traded away with the Texans, and then you come back and then get Paris Johnson. Okay, Cardinals, you know what you're doing. You guys may have a move somewhere else, but on the clock right now, we have the Las Vegas Raiders. Wow. Josh McDaniels, head coach. Jimmy Garoppolo is now their quarterback. Of course, they have Devontae Adams. They get rid of Darren Waller. So, Jeremiah, where are the Raiders going, and what do they need to do? Because there are some questionable things they did this offseason.
So for them, I would guarantee that they will try to go for a tight end at this moment. So I would say the tight end, I would say is from was it Utah Dalton?
Yes.
Cannot pronounce his last name, but you're watching him in Utah last season.
Dalton Kincaid.
Yes, Kincaid.
Yeah.
I could not pronounce the last name, but Kincaid. I was seeing him when it came to this last season. Balled out when it came to their team. Of course, they got to a rough start, with everything else. But he was a highlight for them when it came to their team. And I feel like for the Raiders, they need themselves a tight end at this moment, especially
that too. But on top of that, they need defense. The Raiders were in the 20s ranked last season in defense. They need defense. Offensively, there was some questions too, because Josh McDaniels, we know him as the offensive guru. He's with New England and different things like that, with Tom Brady and guys like that. But there are some questionable things. You let Darren Waller go, who's one of the best tight ends in the National Football League. You let him go for just a third-round pick. The Giants stole him, Dr. Sutton Brown. Your team stole them.
Absolutely, and we love it. We love it.
And
the kind of stealing that you can't go to jail for.
Yes, absolutely. So for me, I had the Raiders. What I picked, I said they need a linebacker, they need cornerbacks, and they need a defensive tackle. They need for defense.
I think right now is Mr. Gonzalez from Oregon.
Okay. Yeah.
He's a number one available cornerback on the board right now.
Yes.
I think they go with Christian Gonzalez.
That would be good. I like that.
The Raiders, they need some sort of defense on this. They can always go later in the draft to get a good tight end for sure, like you were saying, Jeremiah, because of course they lose Darren Waller, but they need some defense because their offense did click. They had some good sprouts, but defensively they weren't there. Just a heads up, the Bijan Robinson is still on the board. Tyree Wilson is still on the board. Jalen Carter is still on the board. And that was one of the biggest questions about Jalen Carter, because I know there was a lot of, off the field issues that we had with him. And the question was, is he going to drop? What was going to happen? So will Jalen Carter get drafted tonight, Dr. Cedric Brown?
Oh, I think he's going to get drafted. Somebody is going to, in the lower round, is going to take a chance on that young man, because what they're going to do is they're going to put someone around him to mentor him, to make sure that he's making good decisions, right? Because I talk a lot about, we're either having, you're either dealing in fate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Decisions that somebody else makes that you don't have control of, or destiny.
Right.
Which are decisions that you're going to make. So I believe that young man is going to get picked. and he's going to make good choices, and he's going to be a great football player in the NFL.
Absolutely. And
Absolutely.
he tore it up for Georgia. I mean, he has 2 championships. I mean, he has the catalog. And I think that they should give him a chance. Of course, put some people around him to, keep him grounded and keep him moving in the right direction. But whoever gets him, he's going to be a force to reckon with. But let's bring on Akeem to talk a little bit more about what the Cardinals did. So, Akeem, I know you heard us talk a little bit about what the Cardinals just did. What was your take on that? Was that smart for the Cardinals to do? I mean, they traded away the pick to the Texans, and then they traded back up with the Lions to get Paris Johnson.
I believe them picking up Paris would be helpful for Kyler Murray. I don't see a problem with it. I just went on defense.
Yeah, because you did say that. You did say they should go defense because they don't have J.J. Watt, and that's a huge deal because he retired as well. That's a big
He
deal.
did.
But the Raiders pick it in. We're going to see who the Raiders are going to get. I think they should go defense, definitely cornerback, definitely defensive tackle. I think that's where they need to go in that direction. I think they can always put some offensive pieces together in the later rounds. There's still a lot of great tight ends still on the board that I think they can get, but I think they need to go cornerback or defensive tackle here. So we'll see. So, Akeem, where do you think the Raiders are going? Because their pick is in now.
I couldn't tell you.
I think
You wouldn't guess. I wouldn't be able to guess.
I think Christian Gonzalez is coming off the board.
Christian Gonzalez, I'm gonna write that down.
I think the cornerback from Oregon. I think he's coming off the board, and if it's not him, it has to be Jalen Carter, because if you have to solidify that defense, I think you have to go with a run stopper, right? You got to go with a run stopper, or you got to go with somebody that can press that corner and take away that X receiver.
And on top of that, especially the division that they're in, you need to get some defense. I mean, you have Russell Wilson, and Sean Payton is not their head coach, and we all know what he's about. Of course, you got Patrick Mahomes. Then, of course, you have what's his name? Wow.
Josh?
No.
Is Josh Allen there?
Chargers, Justin Herbert. Yes.
Justin Herbert.
Herbert. And they have Kellen Moore as their offensive coordinator from the Dallas Cowboys. So there's going to be a lot of offensive explosion in that division. And if I'm the Raiders, I think they need to go get some defense here for sure. Again, the pick is in. We're still waiting on who the Raiders are going to pick. The next team that is on the clock is the Falcons. So it's another AFC South team, and we talked a little bit earlier about the AFC South and how it's going to look. So we'll definitely see. I know the Panthers, they did a very good job this offseason about getting a lot of good picks or a lot of good pieces to add. And then, of course, you get Bryce Young, first pick in the draft. They're building around him. They get a lot of good people. So I think the Panthers are on the up and up. They're doing a really good job of putting pieces around different people. Again, the Raiders are still on the clock. And not to mention, also, Akeem, I don't think we were on, but the Bucks. Tyree Wilson. The Raiders get Tyree Wilson defensive end. So, hey.
They went defense. They went defense.
That's a big deal. He's 6'6", 271 pounds, out of Texas Tech, so that's a big deal. Right now, also, we have the Falcons on the clock. Again, Jalen Carter is still on the board. Bijan Robinson is still on the board. Both of these great players are still on the board, so still questioning, what teams are going to do. But, Akeem, before we call on the next guest, where are the Falcons going to go?
I believe on the Falcons will possibly go a running back, John Robinson.
I got running back as well.
I believe John Robinson will be picked up. They're holding so Jalen Carter will have to hold out on the pick. So I would go with John Robinson. They need that. I love the way he kind of reminds me some of Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, I agree.
So I would
let's see. I definitely think the Falcons should get a running back. Definitely, I think they should get at least maybe one receiver. Definitely offensive line, and then I think they need a safety. They definitely need a safety in my eyes. They finished 7-10 in the division. They did lead the division at one point, but the division wasn't really good, so that says a lot. But I think if I'm the Falcons, running back, Jalen Carter's still there. They need somebody in that position too.
Yeah.
But I think if I'm them, I'm going running back or receiver, maybe safety or cornerback, and I also have linebacker as well. Let's bring on Jeremiah to talk a little bit about if there's any more trades out there and what he's seeing on the trade block. So, Jeremiah, Falcons are on the clock. What are you thinking? Let's talk about that, and then let's talk about a little bit about some trades that you're here talking around. So, where do you think the Falcons are going in this pick?
Well, I would say the Falcons can't. I would just say agree with Akeem saying running back. Very much they should get Robinson because the more these teams are keep having him lower and lower, the more motivation he's having right now. When it comes to you guys pick them over me, I'm ready to get my wheels running. So
Yeah.
I feel like he would be great for the Falcons. I could see him actually in them colors, going off and going crazy. And as for the trades, I mean, very steady right now, but that important pick, which is the number 10 pick, which is the Eagles, is going to be if they're going to sit on that pick, because I mean, you just got to remember they just come off a Super Bowl, they have a stacked team already, and then you got a lot of teams that's in back of them, or even in the second round, that want to move up in their position because they can get a lot of compensation of draft picks to go for next year and the years the years going on. So that is an important one to look at right now. And of course, I was just saying before, it's the Packers, the Chiefs, and the Bills, and so many teams that are looking for that 10th pick right now. So
yeah, they are. They are. I'm keeping my eyes out as well. But the pick is in for the Atlanta Falcons. So we're going to see where the Falcons are going to go. We already said what our picks are and what we think they should go, where they should go. But the Falcons, again, I think they had a good offseason. I think they get Jeff Okudah, who was a very good cornerback out of Ohio State. He was a first-round pick out of Ohio State. He was traded away by the Lions. I think they have a good sense of where they want to go. But I think they're on a building stage, and I think in this whole division right now is literally rebuilding. So let's see what the Falcons are gonna do. And I just received a message from Cole. Cole says, "Be on the lookout. Steelers may trade up. If they do, I'm coming on." So we'll definitely see what the Steelers are gonna do. I know Cole, he wants that offensive tackle. Yeah, I agree with him, but. Again, Dr. Cedric Brown, where are your Giants going again, and why are they going that direction?
Now, I still think that if Quentin Johnston is still on the board at 25, I think they have to go there because Daniel Jones needs a big receiver to throw to. So if you're going to have, him in that, that X or that Y, even if you moved him around and put him in the Z and put him in the slot, you still have somebody that has run, dig routes across the field, can get upfield and stretch the field. But I think I saw him play a lot at TCU, excuse me, because my niece goes to the school, so we watched a lot of TCU football, and I think that would be a great pick for them.
I agree. I think they need a big physical receiver, like you said. I think they really need to do that and give Danny Dimes, as they call him,
Danny Dimes,
a big physical receiver, along with, of course, Darren Waller up there also as well. So they have a lot of things they can look forward to. The Giants look very scary. I think they're a very scary team. I think teams do not want to see them in the long run, but I think all the New York teams this year are going to be on the map. The Bills, the Jets, the Giants, which is going to be very interesting to see. The whole city of New York, Dr. Cedric Brown, is going to be on the map, literally.
Popping. Ready to get it started. And my Knicks are doing their thing too.
The Knicks, the Rangers, everybody is.
And my Ranger and the Islanders, they're all popping.
The city of New York right now is popping. They are popping. Right, for sure. The pick is still in. We're still waiting for the Falcons. The Falcons, come on, Falcons. Let's see what you're gonna do.
Let's see.
One of my good friends, Double A, she is from Atlanta. She's from Georgia, so I'm sure she's watching. We're gonna see what the Falcons are gonna do. Let's see what's gonna happen. But for the Bucks, do you see any trades happening for the Bucks, Akeem, or you think the Bucks are gonna just sit here and keep it cute?
I wouldn't necessarily trade up. Now, if it was a quarterback need or something like that, I possibly would trade up. But I don't think we would draft a quarterback in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
But I do believe we need a safety, need some defensive back.
Yeah.
Maybe in the later rounds we will pick up a quarterback. But I don't see a quarterback like that getting picked up.
Right, absolutely. We're still waiting on this pick from the Falcons. Let's see. If I'm the Falcons, definitely they need to go running back or defense. So we'll definitely see.
Here it is.
Let's see. We're waiting. Hi, Gage. Number shout out to you. We'll definitely tell Michael you said hi. He said hi. But Falcons are still on the clock. The pick is in. I can hear it through the screen. So I'm over here waiting and just rubbing my hands. Bijan Robinson. What did we say? What did we say, man? Look at that. Bijan Robinson is a Falcon. Running back. So Marcus Mariota has a security blanket, and Bijan Robinson very physical back. I wish the Seahawks could have got him. But Dr. Cedric Brown, what do you think about this pick? Was this the right pick for the Falcons?
It had to be the right pick for the Falcons because, Marcus Mariota is an athletic quarterback. He does some good things in the pocket, but them dirty birds, they need somebody to run that pigskin. And Bijan is that guy. He toted that rock for them Longhorns, and he did. He was a great pick for them. He was a great pick for them.
Do we have a trade? The Philadelphia Eagles are on the clock, you guys. Wait a second. The defending NFC champs are on the clock. Jalen Hurts gets the big deal. Now they're on the clock. So what's happening, Jeremiah? You're muted. You're muted. You're muted. You're muted. I don't know if you're sound.
Right now, the Eagles are looking to get Jalen Carter on the next board. They are looking to get him from many sources that's going down. They are looking to get Jalen Carter, the defensive tackle from Georgia.
Along with Fletcher Cox.
And that makes a lot of sense though, because Doug Peterson and that staff there, it just makes sense.
Yes,
it makes sense because they're gonna, that whole group, Jazzy, with all of the defensive veterans there, they're gonna wrap their arms around that young man and they're gonna show that young man how to be a professional football player.
And off the field. And this makes the Eagles that much better too. I mean, obviously, they're the NFC champs, go to the Super Bowl. I mean, they battled it out with the Kansas City Chiefs. Now you add a defensive guru like this young man. What he did in Georgia, how he played in Georgia is phenomenal. But let's bring on Jay real quick. So the pick is in for the Eagles. So Jeremiah said they're looking for Jalen Carter. So Jay, the Eagles trade up and they're looking to get Jalen Carter. What are your thoughts about this? You're muted, Jay.
It's actually a great move on their end because their other defensive line are getting older. So
Yeah, I agree.
and I can't believe he has fallen this far. I thought he'd been
Yeah.
a better pick, but strange things are
So let's
happening this
see.
draft.
If this is it, Jalen Carter to the Eagles, this is a huge deal for the Eagles because their first need says defensive tackle. Definitely. It says defensive tackle, safety, defensive end, linebacker, and then guard. So
Wow.
this will make the Eagles that much better. And I mean, they were down. Let's see, guys. They were at the 30th pick in the draft, and then they traded all the way up.
All the way up.
Pick. This is a huge, huge deal. So let's see. So when we come back, we're going to take a short break. We are going to see who the Eagles are going to pick. When we come back, the Eagles are on the clock and their pick is in, so don't go anywhere.
I'm Leon Thomas with the Leon Thomas Group. Podcast, virtual events, webinars, streaming shows, and so much more. We want to be your partner in all things virtual.
Welcome back to Jazz's First Impression Sports Talk. And again, the Eagles their pick is in. They traded up from the 30th pick all the way up to the 9th pick. So this is a huge, huge deal. So when the pick is in, I'm going to call on Akeem and Jeremiah to talk about this because I know Jeremiah is our trade guy. And yeah, so the Eagles, let's bring on Jeremiah and Akeem right now just to talk a little bit about it. So the pick is in. And the Eagles are still on the clock. They have their pick. So we said Jalen Carter. Now, we all, like we said before, I don't like to keep bringing up off the field issues. I think he's a talented player. I think we need to focus on that and give the young man a chance. I think when you have those young guys like this, and then you go to an organization with guys like Fletcher Cox, who are veterans, who've been in this league for a long time, you rally around them. Of course, Jalen Hurts is a great leader. They have a lot of good things brewing in Philadelphia. Not just, of course, their field on how they play, but how they just rally around each other and how they believe in each other. So Jalen Carter going to the Eagles, that's just what we're assuming. The pick is in. But what would that mean for him, Akeem?
Jalen Carter, him going to the Eagles, I believe that he has now that mentorship from the guys like Fletcher Cox, to wrap around him and just mentor him and show him, lead him the way that, he should go. So now Fletcher Cox been in the league for so long and they just went to the Super Bowl. Now he's put in a great predicament now. So I believe also they needed a little help on the defensive side anyway because they have one of the best offenses in the league with Jalen Hurts and all those guys. AJ Brown.
Jalen Carter to the Eagles. Defensive tackle out of Georgia, 6'3", 314 pounds. The Eagles just got Jalen Carter. So let's bring on Dr. Cedric Brown. Wow.
More dead.
Young man is off the board. So Dr. Cedric Brown, he's a Eagle. What do you think about this pick? You're muted.
It's a great pick for them, like I said, because we all go through adversity, right?
Yep.
And we fall down, but it's how we pick ourselves up, and it's how we find the resources to wrap around ourselves to make sure that we don't have those situations in the future. So like Akeem said, putting him around somebody like Coach Cox is going to go a long way for this young man because he's going to be shown how to be a professional in the NFL, both on the field and off the field. Great pick.
Yes.
And you can see the emotion on his face right now. You can see the emotion on that young man's face. Yep.
Yeah. And he felt, just the media slandering him. I know a lot of them saying he had character issues and different things like that. But I think this is the best situation for him. I think the Eagles are a very good organization. They have been for a long time. Of course, they have their star quarterback. Of course, they have a defense. that had its ups and downs, but now you add a skilled player like him, and then you bring Fletcher Cox. Those guys are going to rally around him and give him the ropes and make him an even better player and a better thing. But go ahead, Akeem.
I also believe that Jalen Carter being picked, this gives him something to really play for now.
Yes.
You know, out of all the teams that he could have went to, the Eagles picked him.
Yeah.
So by him getting picked up, oh yeah, he's going hard for the Eagles now.
Yeah.
He's going.
Absolutely, Kim.
He's going to play
Absolutely.
chip on his shoulder now. He's definitely going to just go out there and be like, listen, everyone doubted me, everyone judged me, and now you're on a team that is a Super Bowl or bust team. I mean, this team is Super Bowl contending. So I mean, him being there is only going to add more fuel to their fire. So I'm really excited for him, and I think the Eagles are going to continue to fly high. They're going to continue to fly. Dallas Cowboys.
I hope he had the flu the both times he played the New York Giants. I hope he had the flu.
Now, my arch rivals, the Chicago Bears, their pick is in. Let's bring on Ramisha Gordon because she is currently, well, she's not in Chicago, but she lives in Chicago. She's currently in Florida right now. But Remy, the Chicago Bears, they're on the clock. I know the city of Chicago is turning up. What are you thinking about the Chicago Bears? What is the talk around Chicago right now?
I just want to put out there, I'm not a Chicago Bears fan. I just want to make that public. Really, obviously, everyone's cheering for them. You know, every time I see someone wearing some gear, I throw a lot of shade. It is what it is, but I'm very interested to see who they pick.
Yes, I am too. So, Dr. Cedric Brown, who are the Bears getting? They're picking already. Where do you think the Bears are going to go? Because there's a lot of questionable things that have happened, and just a lot of things that are happening right now with them. Justin Fields being their quarterback, he had actually a good season, even though they lost a lot of games. But you can see there's potential. Where are you going?
Oh, I can tell you where they're going right now. They're going with Big Peter Skoronski from Northwestern, Chicago. They're getting ready to stay right in Chicago. Offensive tackle, absolutely.
That's my first position.
All Big Ten.
Yeah, offensive tackle. Their pick is in. I think they need to add protection for Justin Fields. I think he is their future, regardless of what people are saying. He is their future. Just give him protection, give him more weapons. And I think I hate to say this, but I think Chicago could be a decent team in the coming years. I cannot believe I'm saying that right now. But Peter Skoronski.
Yep. Big offensive tackle.
Their first need is offensive tackle.
Absolutely. I think that's where they're going.
That's not a pick.
When we come back, so we're going to go to a short break while that pick is in. So when we come back, we're going to talk more about Chicago and where they're going to go. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Jazz's First Impression Sports Talk. And if you want to talk more about your team, please share in the comments who your team is, where do you want your team to go, and what position do you think they should get? Specifically, what player should they get? But right now, the Chicago Bears, their pick is in. Of course, they're my arch rivals. I'm a Packers fan, so I want to see where the Bears are going to go and see if they're going to get better, and I think they will. I think they should get an offensive tackle because they need to protect Justin Fields. But let's bring on Jeremiah, and let's have a little conversation about his Dolphins. Wait a second. Wait. What just happened? Did something happen? Why are the Browns on the screen?
No. That was my mistake. That was my mistake. My mistake. My mistake with that slide and everything else. But your question.
Oh, here we go. The Chicago Bears they do go offensive tackle, but they go with Darnell Wright out of Tennessee, which is a good stuff because Tennessee had a very good season last year. They protected their quarterback very well, and they had I think the number one offense in the country at one point. So I think big deal for the Chicago Bears. They're adding protection for Justin Fields, so that's a big deal. But Jeremiah, unfortunately, your Dolphins do not have a first-round pick because of obvious reasons. What is your take on that? Where do you think the Dolphins, when they do get their trade picks, where do you think they're going to head in this draft?
Well, for this draft itself, I am hearing, especially throughout this week, and actually throughout all of these weeks that just passed, the Miami Dolphins are heavily pursuing Dalvin Cook. So the moment that Dalvin Cook becomes available, the Dolphins are all the way in when it comes to acquiring him. Now they're looking to move a lot of their picks. Not to mention, Dalvin Cook picked the Miami Dolphins as his best destination, his top destination he wants to go to. So I feel like both sides, they already talked about a trade before during the trade deadline,
right?
Or during the earlier parts of the offseason. Something didn't correlate right, but since it's going to happen, you're going to see in further future that what's called the Vikings, they are going to either release Dalvin Cook or they're going to trade him.
And we have the Tennessee Titans that were on the clock and their pick is in. So for me, we've always questioned where the Titans were going to go. And I had a little bit of question marks with this one because I know last year they got a very good wide receiver in the first round.
Yes.
But the Titans, I think they need another receiver. I do. They need some offensive line, specifically a guard. And I said, anybody on defense. I think they need defense as well. I think the Titans, there's a lot going on with the Titans because I feel like they've missed the window. A lot of years, of course, Derrick Henry, there's some still questions whether he's staying or is he going and different things like that. So, Jeremiah, where do you think the Titans are going to go, and will this help them in the AFC South?
To me, I think that they need a little bit more pieces, especially for the AFC South, especially with them not actually putting in a handful when it comes to Tannehill. They don't know what their future is with him, especially having this big injury last season. And plus, they have their new quarterback that's right now. So you're getting the ropes off, especially with this new offense that's coming on. And they're supposedly moving Derrick Henry right now. So right then and there, they're same as the Cardinals. We're trying to find a new identity. And for them, I feel like they should try to maybe get one more wide receiver because I just feel like having that 1 and 2 can be very special for you, especially with a bigger connection. And I feel like you have your new quarterback just right now because you don't know how Tannehill is going to be. Whoever you bring on, that you need to make sure that you have enough weapons and enough things like outside, because we've seen when it came to Tennessee going against when it comes to the Jaguars, that game was a whole shootout.
Yeah.
But it was the difference between quarterbacks at the end of the day. And plus, they have the right pieces, but they're a couple of pieces away, I would say.
Yes, I agree. And I just got kicked out for some odd reason, but I'm back, everyone. But I did see Marshall's comment. He is a Chiefs fan, and he's thinking they're going D-line or wide receiver in this round. Now, Marshall, earlier, Jeremiah reported that potentially your team could get D-Hop in a certain trade, but that's going to be lethal. But congratulations to you guys winning the Super Bowl. You guys played a heck of a season. Patrick Mahomes is that guy, so shout out to the Chiefs. But again, the Titans are on the clock right now. Their pick is in. I think they need to go receiver here. I think they need to get another weapon, especially in a league in the AFC where it's getting more stacked offensively. I think they need to go there. Also, anybody on defense would help too, because I think their defense has taken a step back as well. But definitely, I would say wide receiver on this one, or offensive tackle as well, or guard specifically. But for the Titans, I just think, of course, Tannehill has not been the answer for the longest time. Even with your Miami Dolphins, there was times where we think, oh man, Tannehill is going to be that guy, and there's times where he's not, and there's a lot of inconsistency there. But I just think for the Titans, I think they have to go back to the drawing board. I think they need to get back to the drawing board, get some receivers. Of course, they lose A.J. Brown last draft. They traded him.
Yes, remember that draft last year.
Exactly. So that was a big deal last year. But I think they're going receiver. I think they need to go receiver and get some more weapons, especially in the AFC division or the AFC conference that is superbly stacked. So we'll definitely wait for that. Again, The best available players right now we have is, of course, cornerback Christian Gonzalez that Dr. Cedric Brown talked about. He's out of Oregon. Very, very good stud at cornerback. And then we have quarterback Will Levis out of University of Kentucky. He tore up my Gators, so I don't want to talk about him. But let's bring on Dr. Cedric Brown before they announce this pick with
But Jasmine,
Titans.
there is circulation that's going around right now that the Patriots are looking to move up this pick.
Really?
They're in big talks right now. So
interesting.
Just putting that out there.
I think that the Titans pick is going to be Jackson Smith Njigba from Ohio State University.
Very good wide receiver. Very good wide receiver.
Yes.
I think, like I said, they need to go wide receiver here. I definitely think. Now, there's a player we didn't mention yet, and I'm surprised we haven't mentioned him yet. Brock Bowers, Georgia tight end.
Yes.
What's going on? Dr. Cedric Brown, what do you think?
I haven't heard his name mentioned.
No.
I haven't heard his name mentioned at all.
That's a little strange.
Is he? I mean, is he staying in? Is he? I know he's eligible.
I didn't see any reports saying that he was going to stay
whatsoever.
in Georgia.
I haven't heard a single report about that young man at all, because he would obviously be the number one tight end on the board.
Yes. We're still waiting for this pick, actually, but definitely they need to go wide receiver here. But the Titans, I think they need to keep up. I think losing A.J. Brown was a huge, huge deal. I think they need to try to. I mean, A.J. Brown is a star. It's hard to find receivers like that. That are that good. Oh, they go
big,
offensive
strong.
Tackle.
Yes.
Peter Skoronski. We thought he was going to
Northwestern.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they're looking for protection. I did say they should go offensive lineman anyway, but I was thinking more of a skill position player. But this is a good pick too. Always
pick up,
the quarterback. Now the Lions are now on the clock. They are back on the clock, even though they traded earlier. Then the next pick is my Green Bay Packers, which I'm itching about. I don't know where we're gonna go. So when we come back, we're gonna have a quick little break. When we come back, we're gonna talk about the Detroit Lions and see who they're gonna go with. So don't go anywhere. You're watching Jazz's First Impression Sports Talk. This is a special, so we'll see you guys when we come back from break.
Renting is everything. It's style at your doorstep, off the runway and into your closet. It's every trend you've been dying to try and every designer you've yet to discover. It's wearing it your way every time and making it count everywhere you go. It's never worrying about what to wear, because something new is always coming your way. That's why renting is everything. New styles, top designers, all for a flat monthly fee. Start your subscription at renttherunway.com.
Slow roasted over hickory fire and pulled by hand. This is the way pit pork has always been done. Pulled pork lovers, rejoice. The smoky old days are back at the Smoke Shack. From the creative team that brought you the Browning Project and Dead by Morning comes a new thriller that will change the way you look at white-collar crime forever.
What?
Falling from the sky.
I just sent him.
You're watching Jasmine Pollock's First Impression Sports Talk. Be sure to join Jasmine every week for great conversation on the NBA, NFL, and a wide variety of sports topics. To see past episodes of First Impression Sports Talk, go to YouTube and search First Impressions Sports Talk. You can connect with Jasmine on LinkedIn by searching Jasmine Pollock. And now, back to more First Impressions Sports Talk.
Welcome back to Jasmine's First Impression Sports Talk, and you're watching a special edition of the NFL Selection Night. And as we said before break, the Lions were on the board, and they picked running back Jahmyr Gibbs out of Alabama. So they went running back in this, which is very interesting. I didn't think they were going to go running back. I was assuming maybe a cornerback, even when they lost Jeff Okudah. But he's a good deal. He's a good running back. Very competitive, very physical running back. And the moment is here. My Green Bay Packers are on the clock. So let's bring on Dr. Cedric Brown, Akeem. Let's bring them on. So, guys, as we all know, I am a Green Bay Packers fan. That's my number one team. Aaron Rodgers is no longer here. It's Jordan Love time. So, guys, please enlighten me where my Packers are going. And, Akeem, I'm going to start with you. Where do my Packers need to go? You're muted.
You're muted.
To be honest, Aaron Rodgers' departure, they could go run quarterback, with probably pick up Will Levis.
I don't need that anymore.
Probably Will Levis. I'm not sure, but they could go Will Levis. I'm hoping Will Levis.
Will Levis. Okay, so Akeem has quarterback. Dr. Cedric Brown, where are my Packers going and why?
I think they're going to go Mike Mayer, Notre Dame, or they're going to go with Dalton Kincaid, tight end from Utah.
Yes, I said my Packers need a tight end, receiver, and safety. The first three needs: wide receiver, tight end, and safety. We are in desperate need of all.
I mean, Green Bay is not too far from,
Wisconsin.
It's
From
not
Utah.
too far from Notre Dame, right? It's not too far from Notre Dame, right? So you get Michael Mayer, the tight end there. I'm sure that they would have seen him play a lot, right?
Right.
But you can't go wrong with the Kincaid young man as well. Big time pass receiver, blocker. So you can't go wrong with him either.
And not to mention Robert Tonyan, who Remy knows, we talked about him before. Robert Tonyan, which was our tight end, he is now a Chicago Bear. So he was a big deal that we lost him. I think he was a solid tight end for us, for Aaron. But I think it's been a while since we had a very solid, good tight end. We need somebody like that, somebody that can pass catch. And of course, Jordan Love is now our guy, and I think he needs the protection. And I think he needs some weapons to throw to. We got a lot of good pieces last year in the draft on offense, but I think we need to go tight end here. And I like Dalton Kincaid. I like him a lot. I think the pick is in. The pick is in. I am so nervous. My palms are sweating. The last time we had a first round pick like this, we traded up to get a quarterback. So I'm worried.
Any pick will be good except for a kicker. They need to get anything else. They need to get offensive.
I just hope the Packers don't do anything that will hurt my feelings tonight. We need some skill position right now. I think clean slate, clean house. But before we announce the pick, let's bring on Cole because he is upset with the Lions pick right now. He's not a happy camper. So if Cole is in the studio, please bring him on because he's texting me saying, Jazz, let me come on and talk about this. So I want to hear what he has to say. Cole, what's going on? What's wrong? What's wrong this time?
What did they just do? What did they just do?
They drafted a running back.
This is my only reaction. What's the point in taking a running back? You got a wide receiver sitting there on the board known as Jackson Smith-Njigba. And by the way, this is actually a very fun fact. His brother is Cannon Smith-Njigba for the Pirates.
What?
Worlds come clashing,
That's interesting.
Jahmyr Gibbs is a good player, but it's stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know what this GM just woke up. What dumb thing should I do today? I'm gonna go take a running back.
I didn't have running back at all for the Lions.
No,
I had
I
maybe
didn't
a
have running
cornerback
back
and
at all.
linebacker and safety, but not a running back.
What are you gonna do?
Well, hey, Detroit, they said we're here. You know, we're trying to be an offensive gifted team. So I guess that's their thought process. But my pack is on the clock and the pick is in. My palms are sweating. I don't know.
And then sometimes, GMs get enamored by, Alabama behind a player's name, right? Because there does come a sense of expectation from players from Alabama, Ohio State, Clemson. There's an expectation about those young men. So, but a running back in the first round like this, and the expectations from that running back gonna be really high.
Yeah, it is. And to think about it, their backfield is all SEC. DeAndre Swift, he was at Georgia, and now you have Jahmyr Gibbs. So it's an all SEC backfield. So, SEC running backs are very different. They're a lot different. So, I mean.
Jazz. Jazz.
I'm worried.
Gonna be a tight end, Jazz.
I hope so. Right receiver,
it's gonna be
tight end. That's what I'm
Dalton Kincaid or Michael Mayer.
No, that's not him. Well, that's Lucas Van Ness. He's good too, from Iowa. What? Defensive end?
Wow.
Jasmine, is there any chance you could just add a couple more things about this Lions pick before you go and rant about
Lucas Van Ness? Chicago area kid.
I didn't want a defensive end, though. That's not what I was thinking. Let's bring on Jeremiah. Cole, we're gonna talk about the Lions too, but let's bring on Jeremiah. Jeremiah, the Dolphins. Dang, I'm thinking about the Dolphins. My Packers go defensive end. Now, Lucas Van Ness is very good. He's a very good defensive end, but I was not looking for no defensive end. I was looking for a wide receiver, at least tight end.
Listen, when Aaron is gone, you will want to have something to represent, to keep saying I own you as a team to the Cleveland. To Cleveland. You are going to You are going to want to. Yeah, Chicago. My bad. I'm so sorry. Chicago. When it comes to Green Bay, you had the 13th pick and you choose a defensive end, which is very questionable. Not saying the young man is any bad or anything else like that, but you trade 2 spots up. You traded away Aaron Rodgers. Will have the 13th pick to pick a defensive end. I would have choose another wide receiver.
The first 3 needs that we had was wide receiver, tight end, and I believe linebacker.
Mm-hmm. It's very questionable.
Defensive end.
To me, it's very questionable to me because in their defense is very elite. It had no type of problems. So
I feel like but this is what I'm saying. If we were gonna go defense, the Steelers, Cole, you did say there was a trade. The Steelers, I think there's a trade.
Steelers traded up
to the Patriots. They traded to the Patriots.
Cole, bring on Jay. Bring on Cole and Jay. Come on here. The Steelers trade up. Jay, what's gonna happen? What are the Steelers about to do? You're muted.
Hey, I'm gonna go and see the Steelers pick real quick. And
it's got to be a quarterback. There's no offensive lineman out there worth it.
Isn't Broder Jones there?
Chris, it's gonna be Porter Jr. It's gonna be Porter Jr.
Hey, look, their first need is offensive tackle, cornerback, inside linebacker, wide receiver, and defensive tackle.
I will be back real quick. I'm gonna go and see the Steelers pick, and then I am either going to be a happy man, or I may just be indifferent, or I may just go absolutely.
Could they draft a wide receiver?
No, they're not drafting a wide receiver. They better not. We don't need a wide receiver. I want an offensive tackle. Protect that quarterback.
It's going to either be Christian Gonzalez or Joey Porter Jr.
Because Christian Gonzalez is still on the board. He's still on the board.
The only offensive tackles that are left right now are Broderick. The highest rated ones are Broderick Jones from
out of
Georgia,
Mm-hmm.
and Anton Harrison from Oklahoma.
The pick is in. So I have Steelers offensive line and cornerback as my top two needs for them, though. Whoa, man. I'm still not happy about my Packers. I'm not happy with that pick like that.
They should have went receiver.
All right, Steelers. I know Cole is sitting there waiting. This is Jay, man. Oh boy, we're gonna see because this is a touchy subject over here. They gotta go. They gotta get a tackle.
Is that guy worth it, or they could have got him with the first pick of the second round?
And then the next pick, you guys, is the Jets. So, this is going to be interesting.
By the way, Aaron Rodgers will be a bust with the Jets.
Don't do that.
Never.
I don't think so.
Come on. You don't believe that, Jay.
Yes.
You don't even believe that.
They may not even make the playoffs.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Come on, Jay.
Think about it. Who's in the AFC?
I have them winning the division. Yeah.
Third at best.
But look, they were good without a quarterback last year.
Don't mean will he practice before the season starts?
He's going to be. He already said he's going to be in camp, mini camp, and OTAs.
Does that mean he's going to practice though? Doesn't mean he's going to.
Yeah,
that's some bold words, Jay.
Yeah. That's coming from a Steeler fan. Come on, Jay. You can't.
Oh, look, Jay, offensive tackle. Broderick Jones. Cole, I know Cole is happy. Let me put this down. The Steelers pick a tackle.
Broderick Jones. I told you.
Is he worth it though? That high? That's my only question. He wasn't rated that high on the.
He's a third rated offensive lineman behind the kid from Northwestern that went to Tennessee Titans and Paris Johnson Jr. That went to the Cardinals.
Yep, that's a good pick for you. I mean, protection. That's what Cole wanted. Cole wanted that, so I want to see what Cole
he's running. So it's good.
Listen, Cole, you're back. What are you thinking? How are you feeling right now?
Yes. Thank you. Oh my God, that's what I wanted.
You got your tackle
too.
I got my tackle. Okay, so now shut up. All right. This is what they needed to do. Okay, you have they want Kenny Pickett to be their franchise quarterback. You better protect him.
Yep.
That is a must.
I agree.
There are good players still available, and all I'm going to say is Omar Khan just fleeced the Patriots.
Yes.
And that feels great because I don't like Boston. I never liked Boston. All right? I don't like the Bruins. I was thinking
the Patriots were going to put something together as well because the Patriots, they need some offensive line too and a receiver.
Well, they may trade up because they may draft a quarterback even.
Jay, you might be onto something. I like the controversy.
Because there was a report Mac Jones is to get traded and going up.
Well, where would Mac Jones get traded? Where do you think?
So who? And Jay, what quarterback they gonna get? Don't say Will Levis. And then the only other one that's rated as high as him is Tanner McKee from Stanford.
Nah, there's a better one.
Ooh,
Hooker.
Oh, from Tennessee?
Tennessee, yeah.
Okay, I can see that.
He's good. Okay.
He's injured till the season starts, but here's another bold prediction. Write this down. He'll be the best quarterback in the draft.
Who again?
Who?
Hooker.
Okay, hold on.
Come on, Jay.
Nah.
Wait,
Stop
hold
it.
on. I'm gonna write it down.
Stop
right here.
it. Don't write that down. Jasmine, do not waste the ink to write that down. Don't do that.
And Jay. Okay.
Come on.
Hey, by the way, so can I just go back to shredding on the Lions pick? Don't
Yeah.
they need defense?
Go ahead. Take it away.
Yeah, don't they need defense?
Yes. Immediately.
Yes. Oh, I'm gonna go take a running back.
I think the
Brilliant
Lions.
idea. Brilliance. It's sheer brilliance by some general managers in the NFL because today general managers make themselves look like geniuses or they make themselves look so stupid.
Oh, I agree. If I was the Lions, and I'm a Packers fan, I shouldn't be advocating for the Lions, but I think they should have went defense. And
Yeah,
then
I agree.
I think they should have gotten a cornerback because you traded Jeff Okudah. Christian Gonzalez is still on the board. Why wouldn't you go get him?
Right.
You traded away Jeff Okudah. Why not go get a cornerback to replace that? I don't know.
Yeah, you
I
know,
don't
I don't get it either. If the Steelers would have taken a cornerback, I still would have been fine with it
Mhm.
because I still think that there's good corners. I think Christian Gonzalez is good.
Yeah.
And the Steelers do need corners still. Like
Yep.
there's, in my opinion,
Well, they have the first pick of the second round, though.
yeah, they get the first pick in the second round. It's easy. I'm going corner. They have 2 more picks left.
Mm-hmm.
I would go the next 2 picks. I'd go defense.
Are you guys shocked that Stetson Bennett is not as high?
No.
I've never been fond of him. Either.
Too small. He's too small.
The
He's too small quarterback.
The kid, the Division II quarterback that was in the combine is better than Bennett.
That's crazy. You guys weren't sold on Bennett, were you? Because I wasn't sold on him.
No,
I was
I
never
just think
sold on him.
there was a lot of people around him that made him very talented or look talented. But where do you think he'll go, guys? Where do you think Stetson Bennett could go? Like where
undrafted.
Undrafted or 7th round.
Undrafted.
After let's be real for a minute. I wouldn't say undrafted. I'll probably say in mid round. Probably 4th, 5th. But I wouldn't say
Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick.
I don't think he'll be Brock Purdy.
I would say
Brock
4th, 5th.
And then but no, and here's the thing. He has character issues also that nobody is talking about, right? Because he had, some I don't know if it was DUI or something that he had.
Yes.
Something that he had, right? And so if Jalen Carter fell, and Jalen Carter is far more talented than Stetson Bennett is,
yep.
Of course.
then it probably fair to say that Mr. Bennett is probably not going to be in a place where he's going to automatically make that 53, 54 man roster. It's not going to happen. So there's the XFL. Jasmine, we talked about that on my show last week.
Mm-hmm.
There's the XFL.
I think he could be a XFL quarterback.
There's a USFL, and then he can go play in Canada.
That's true.
Yeah.
Because I don't see him any scenario where he would be successful in the NFL. Mm-hmm. I think he's a heck of a college career. I mean, back-to-back champ, but you're not even considered a top. Oh, Akeem, you disagree with that?
No, I'm totally agreeing with you because I'm just as seeing Bennett. I feel like he was surrounded by talent the entire time.
Yeah.
So he basically lived off the talent that was surrounded by him.
I agree.
So him being around that talent, that's why I said could lead him into the 4th, 5th, maybe even the 6th round.
Yeah. But I expect a little draft pick as well.
I'm calling this one, Jazz. Okay. This is the Johnston kid going to the Jets from TCU because Aaron needs a big wide receiver, and
Yeah.
if not that, I think that the last best offensive player on the board is the Harrison kid from Oklahoma.
That's true too. And the pick is in. You heard Dr. Cedric Brown from here, you guys, that the pick is in for the New York Jets. They have their quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, now, who was traded a couple days ago. We're going to see what the Jets are going to do. Everybody's going to be watching the Jets this year and how they're going to move and what they're going to do. But I'm still puzzled by my Packers. I'm not going to get over that. Cole, the same way you feel about particular things with the Steelers, I am puzzled why we went defensive end. I am utterly puzzled. When we lost a tight end, our top tight end, you lose him. There's tight ends on the board, or at least get one more receiver or somebody on the offensive side of the ball. But no, we go defensive end.
Yeah. Guess what? Omar Khan, he's a genius today. He's done a very good job so far as Steelers general manager. So props to him. Props to him. It was a good
Brian
pick.
Gutekunst, you're not doing a good job, sir. That's our general
Who
manager.
did they take? Because if they do something dumb, I'm going to shred the pick.
How many more picks do the Steelers have, Cole?
I know they have 2 tomorrow.
2 tomorrow, okay. I think they can do some damage there.
Oh, yeah, I do too.
But the pick is in for the Jets, so
Here it comes.
I have to agree with Dr. Cedric Brown on this one because I do have those same. I said wide receiver and I said tackle as well.
Well, you got Jackson Smith, Enigma from Ohio State, Jordan Addison from USC, Quentin Johnston from TCU,
Sleep on Zay Flowers as well.
Zay Flowers from Boston Boston College.
All right, let's see what the Jets are gonna do. I'm really curious about this one. Man, this draft show has been very good. I want to say thank you to all of you guys because this is amazing. This is great. I mean, this went longer than mine last year, so it's like I'm really excited about this. Man, oh boy, let's see.
Ooh.
Can't hear you, Jay.
You were great last year. This is next level, man.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's thanks to Cole, Dr. Brown, and
team. I don't know. My dad, I think he got booted out or something, but all right. I hear the news, so let's see. I'm
Here it is.
Thank you, Mr. Goodell. I'd also like to thank the NFL, the New York Jets, and the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Northeastern New York for giving me this opportunity.
Linebacker Will McDonald.
Will McDonald from Iowa.
They went defense. I mean, they finished top 10 last year.
The New York Jets.
They also need a tackle.
Yeah. Oh boy, we got the Washington Commanders on the clock.
They're going corner.
Ooh.
They're going corner.
Yeah.
They have to.
Christian or Joey. Christian or Joey Porter.
Nah, they can take Christian. So now we can save the Steelers and bring Joey Porter Jr. back to Pittsburgh.
But you know what's scary though? Their first need is a quarterback.
Is Will Levis still sitting there?
Yep.
Yes.
He just popped up too. I don't think Washington should go.
I wouldn't go back here though.
Never. Not him.
No, Moss. I don't think he should. Oh, no. I don't think they should go quarterback. I don't.
I'm not high on Will Levis.
You're not high on him?
No.
Me neither.
I like Will Levis.
Well, let's bring in Jeremiah and talk a little bit about the Jets and the Packers. I know what people are going to see. What are the Jets going to do? What are the Packers going to do? So, Jeremiah, what do you think about this pick that the Jets just did? They added more to their already stacked and very talented defense. They get a linebacker out of Iowa State. So, what do you think about that? You're muted.
So sorry about that. I think it was great picks for the Jets because I'm pretty sure Aaron Rodgers is definitely in that room while they're picking right now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I can most definitely bet you $100 that he is in that room and he is deciding what is going to be going around. And this adds more arsenal, especially to their defense in a big way. And to be honest with you, it's questionable for, like I just said before, with the Packers, because what direction are you trying to go in right now, especially offensively? We know how you are defensively. You guys are dogs. You guys have a great amount of ones, but it's just the offense. Once Aaron is gone, is going to be a new look right now. So it's like building around that right now, especially when it comes to these next picks, they're very important and they're very telling for the fans that are going to be watching, because they are going to be watching the moves that we're making. And this first one is not really a bestseller, especially for the fans. But as for the Jets, yes.
Also, especially like with everything that's going on right now, and we have a lot of draft capital. If I was the general manager, I would not have went defensive end.
No.
I don't know, but Lucas is good. He's a very good defender. But I wouldn't have went that way. But just a heads up, the pick is in for the Commanders. Let's see what they're gonna do. Because, there's a lot going on. They got ownership issues. Who's going to be their owner? They got a lot going on. So we'll see I don't know what
they need to get cornerback. I have them getting a cornerback right now.
A cornerback or quarterback?
Cornerback. They need to get a cornerback.
Christian Gonzalez is the best.
Yep, or Joey Porter.
Porter too.
And I'm going to be totally real. I'm saying this early. I'm probably going to have Commanders as my sleeper. I don't know.
Sleeper for what?
A sleeper. I don't know. I just have them as maybe a sleeper.
Oh,
every team, maybe a dark horse.
They don't even know who their owner's going to be. They don't even know who their owners are going to be.
And I don't matter what they do on the field.
So, what indication has it given you that they're going to be a sleeper team?
I mean, you have Chase Young coming back.
Who's finishing last?
You have a new look at quarterback right now. And not to mention, it's the same team that took down the Eagles.
Who is their quarterback?
Or was it
exactly?
So they're gonna finish last in the East.
They're gonna be last in the East.
Right. And then the Cowboys, and then my Giants gonna try to figure it out between them and the Eagles.
I don't know. I feel like
Dallas
probably give them upsets. Who knows? I have it just as a dark horse. Not saying that they're going all the way.
You know who I don't have to see on my screen? The Cowboys, because I can't stand them. I'm glad we don't have to see them. But the pick is in for the Commanders. Yeah, the Commanders are finishing last. This is my prediction. I think the Eagles will be number one, respectfully. I do think the Giants are better than the Dallas Cowboys right now. And I think I have the Giants second. Fact. Cowboys third, and the Commanders fourth. That's my pick. That's my prediction for the NFC East.
Facts.
There's
Jeremiah. Who are the Commanders better than in that division?
No, I don't mind that. I do not mind that because, but
no. There's a lot going on.
I know many people is like, that game last year was maybe a fluke and other things. But when it came to Washington, they did take down Green Bay. They took down the Eagles.
Green Bay, though, for real. I mean, all respect, though, Jazz.
No, go ahead. Green Bay. I know. Come on.
Green Bay last year, though. Jeremiah, come on, bro.
I mean, they took down the Cowboys too when it was
anybody can take down the Cowboys.
Let's not forget that.
The Cowboys, though, come on now, man.
These are people in their division, in their division that they beat. Now, I'm just throwing out a limb here. This is just, I don't know. I'm just making an early prediction. I could be totally wrong, but who knows? I could be totally right too.
Like, I have to deal with this. Like, what are you talking about?
don't know
Where are
what
you
the-
So
from?
here's a question though. Bet your wedding money on that.
Oh, you were right, Jeremiah. They did go quarterback. They went Emmanuel Forbes, cornerback out of Mississippi State.
At Mississippi
Yes.
State,
Let me write that down.
the most pick six in college football last year.
Wow.
Yes, that is true. That is true.
Emmanuel Forbes. Now the Patriots are on the board, so we know the Patriots traded earlier.
Yes.
What are the Patriots going to do? Because I do think they need some tackle. Could they go quarterback here, though? Could they? Because I know Jay said earlier something about that. What do you guys think?
I wouldn't mind a quarterback, but at the same time, I do want them to actually get some more weapons on offense. Because offensively last year, they were not it at all, especially when it came to the offensive coordinator position, when it came to that.
They're picking in already, by the way. Quick. Wow.
Oof.
Wasting no time. Let's see. Patriots did finish 8-9 last. Third in the AFC. I think they're going to finish last this year, unfortunately. I do. I just think where the division headed, the Bills are going. I think the Bills are going to be good, but there's still a lot of questions about the Bills right now. Dolphins,
we're up there, yeah.
Jets are going to be scary. The Patriots, not in a good situation.
No. And I feel like they're the only team that is slowly right now not keeping up with the others.
You know what I mean? They have to catch up. They're not catching up.
Yeah, I mean, they're really not keeping up with the others when it comes to making these constant big splash moves. Because the Patriots, they didn't even make a big trade move like the longest time. Like, the Jets, they just made big trade moves. Dolphins.
The Patriots.
Porter Jr. Because Belichick is a
Gonzalez.
They went Gonzalez, really.
Whoa.
From Oregon.
Yep, Patriots went cornerback. Yep. Wow.
There you go.
Ooh, the Bucks are next. The Bucks are next.
Woo! Let's go.
So, but right now, the Lions are on the clock again.
Woo.
Well, Belichick, he hangs his hat on defense, so I mean, we'll definitely see what's going to happen. So the Lions are on the clock. And I think Leon is in the green room, if I'm not mistaken. I just got an alert that he wants to come on the show. So let's bring on Leon and talk a little bit about football, because there's a lot going on, some craziness happening in the sports world. Leon, welcome. What is going on? The Ravens get the deal done. What's happening?
Hey, good evening, Jasmine. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Good. Who else we have here? We got Akeem is with us. Dr. Cedric Brown is with us. Listen, let's talk about Lamar, okay? Yeah. And then I got some other things to say. I was on my way to the racquetball program, and I got a text message from Dr. J that said the Ravens and Lamar have reached an agreement. I almost had an accident. Right? Because I didn't think this was going to happen, right? So my first player was a little late, and I read the details in the article. Like, okay, this is good. Every kid that showed up tonight with their parents, did you hear we re-signed Lamar? You hear we signed Lamar? We hear we signed Lamar. Like, son, you don't even like football. What is this? Why? It was like everybody's into it, right? But let's talk about this show, right? All right. This has been outstanding. I haven't watched much of it because I've been watching between lessons, right? I'd watch and I listened to it on the way home, right? This has just been outstanding. Congratulations, Jasmine. Great,
Thank
great show. And everyone that's been on as a guest, thank you for your support. Who all worked the show? I don't even know who was in production. I'm Leon Thomas from the Leon Thomas Group, and I don't even know who was involved in this thing tonight.
Yes, definitely.
Right? Who I see Ramisha's here, Jay's here,
And Oren.
and Oren. Right. Ramisha, Jay, Oren. Thank you so much for supporting it and making this work.
Yes.
Akeem, thank you for being here. Dr. Brown, who else has been on the show?
My
Let's-
dad, Cole, Jeremiah.
Well, your dad made an appearance.
Yes, he did.
Cole came. I heard Cole ranting about somebody they should have picked because his brother played for the Pirates or something. I don't know what that got to do about football, but he was ranting about that.
Yes.
Right? Who else has been on?
That's pretty much it, right? I think
Yeah.
we have a lot of people going in and out, man.
Oh wait, Jeremiah's here, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Trade guy. He is the one calling the trades tonight.
Oh, he's been calling the trades. Okay, so again, shout out, thank you to everybody for making this work. Just a tremendous night. Again, I watched little bits and pieces of it in between racquetball lessons. Just a great job. And Jasmine, you have redeemed yourself after having that pickleball post on your TikTok or Twitter or wherever that was. You have redeemed yourself from that. Now, who did the Ravens select, or have we drafted yet?
Nope.
No, 22.
And what number are we on now?
18.
18. Yep.
Okay, so we got a ways to
Got
go.
a way to go. For the Ravens.
I hear they're gonna make a monumental pick. They're gonna take a guy out of the Northeast Conference from Robert Morris University, who only played one day of football, and that was in high school. And he walked off the field and said, "Talk to the hand." And they said, "Get back here, get back." And he kept walking. They're going to draft the big fella. Your friend, you know him, you love him, you know him. The Ravens are going to draft Leon Thomas. No?
Oh, let me
No.
look him up.
You're gonna look him up. You're gonna look him up. Look at Dr. Brown. He's like,
Let's put on the film.
Hey, you're the boss. If that's what you say, hey, you the boss.
Is that what? Okay, everybody's on the ICS and everywhere else going, what has he been smoking? Hey, listen again. I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you, Jasmine. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Great show, Ramisha. You've been producing Jasmine's shows now for about 4 months or so.
Yep.
They've never been better. Thank you, Remy. Jay, you've been supporting this from day one since we've been rocking and rolling. Oren, you'll listen to this later because I know you stay up until 2:00 in the morning and check out everything. So thank you, Oren. Jeremiah, thank you for everything that you do to support everything that we do, and thank you all of you that have been on the show today. Thank you, and Dr. Brown, you've got a show coming up on Sunday, plus some other things we're going to talk about.
Yes, sir.
So everybody, thank y'all so much. Thank you.
Yes.
Great job to all.
And speaking of which, on that note, the on the clock is the Detroit Lions again. Now, initially, we weren't thinking running back. They picked a running back earlier. So, Dr. Cedric Brown, after going running back, who are the Lions going to pick now? Where do you think they're headed?
I think offense. I have to say tight end again. I mean, you have Michael Mayer, that's still there. You have Dalton Kincaid, who's still there. He's a number 1 rated tight end on the board right now. So you have those two. I think you have to go there, right? Because they're going to have to score points to win that division.
Yes, I agree. And the pick is in. So I will go tight end. And even they traded their tight end to the Vikings. earlier last season. So I think there's a lot of good tight ends that are left on the board. Of course, they have the first person that popped up is Dalton Kincaid. So I think they should get somebody like that, which I was hoping the Packers would get. But, we just want to go against the grain, against everything. But I am really excited for the next pick because the Bucs are up. The Bucs are up. Akeem, I know you're excited. I know you're anxious to see what Tampa's going to do. We are in Tampa Bay right now. I mean, I'm not a Bucs fan, even though I was born and raised in the Tampa area. It doesn't make sense, but the Bucs are up. Let's see what the Bucs are going to do. But right now, the Lions are on the clock, and their pick is in. So when we come back, don't go anywhere. It's going to be a short break. When we come back, we're going to see who the Lions are going to pick. So don't go anywhere.
I'm Leon Thomas with the Leon Thomas Group. Podcast, virtual events, webinars, streaming shows, and so much more. We want to be your partner in all things virtual.
Wow. And we are back to Jasmine's First Impression Sports Talk. If you're enjoying the show, please leave your comments of your favorite team, who you want your team to pick, and why you want to pick them. So this right here, the Lions choose inside linebacker Jack Campbell out of Iowa. So let's bring on Jeremiah, Akeem, and Dr. Cedric Brown. So did we want this, Dr. Cedric Brown? Did the Lions need this? Is it what they? Because I know we wanted defense earlier, but what are you thinking?
Well, as I look at it, their need was tight end, defensive end, inside linebacker, wide receiver, and running back. So
yeah,
they took something that they needed. So you can't be, upset with him at that now. And he was the top rated linebacker on the board because you have Jack Campbell at Iowa, Drew Sanders at Arkansas, Dayan Henley from Washington State, Trenton Simpson from Clemson, and DeMarvion Orvashon from Texas.
Yep.
He was a number one rated linebacker left, and they took him. So can't be mad at him.
Now we have the Bucs on the clock. So Akeem, this is your pick. The pick is in. It's very quick what the Bucs just did. So
okay, I'm going Jordan Battle. Jordan Battle.
Okay.
Now by knowing that Devin White had asked for a trade, I would also probably go Owen Pepper from Auburn.
Okay, that's not a bad pick either. But every Bucs fan is on your toes. Dad, shout out to you. Dalton, he should be coming in sometime. We'll definitely see. I sent him the link. But Bucs fans, stand up. Tampa Bay, let's see what they're gonna do.
If they going safety, Jazz, they got Sidney Brown from Illinois.
Yeah.
They got Sidney Brown from Illinois.
But Akeem, listen. Their first need is quarterback. And the best available is Will Levis.
But
I like Will. Don't get me wrong.
Ooh. I think Tampa's gonna be on fire.
I would pick a safety. I will go defensive back on this one.
Oh man.
To me,
I think the Bucs need to go. They need to either do offensive line, safety, or quarterback. And I put linebacker.
I totally agree with you because offensive line. Because this is my thing.
They were banged
Brady last year, great as he is, he was running for his life last season when it came to that old line.
Yeah.
And especially for this year, being that you're gonna have Baker Mayfield, and either if you get Will to come as your new quarterback, you need some protection.
Ooh, for the Bucs right now. I mean, especially after you sign Baker Mayfield, and then you have Kyle Trask. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, the Tampa Bay Buccaneer camp, talking about Will Levis. I mean, that war room is talking about Will Levis right now.
The tackle.
Yeah, I like Will Levis. Let's see.
Here it is.
That defensive tackle, Kalijah Cansey out of Pittsburgh.
Kalijah Cansey.
Really?
What do you think? They went defensive tackle.
Kalijah Cansey.
I'm not surprised Gerald retiring. I'm not surprised. So we do need somebody in the trenches.
All right. So now on the clock is my Seahawks again. Before, we were hoping. Let me see. I can't remember where we picked again. Go back. We went Witherspoon out of Illinois. Your guy, Dr. Cedric Brown. Let's see where we go again. I wouldn't be upset if we went defense again. I would not be upset.
Well, you got Nolan Smith at Georgia. Cansey just came off the board. And you have Miles Murphy from Clemson.
Yep. Oh man. So it says defensive end, wide receiver, a center, defensive tackle, and a quarterback. Don't do it. Don't fall in the trap, Pete. Don't do it.
I wouldn't be mad at a wide receiver on this one.
I wouldn't either. I wouldn't.
Because
Jackson's still on the board.
If you guys notice, this draft so far has been very defensive.
Yeah, it has.
As far as cornerbacks, defensive ends, a lot so far.
They're trying to stack their defense because the league is turning into an offensive explosion. It is. The teams are really stacking up. Of course, what the Eagles just did, getting Justin Carr, all these guys. Man. Hopefully we get some defense back. I'm tired of these high-scoring games all the time. I need some tackling. I need some physicality. But right now we're sitting at the 20th pick, and that's the Seattle Seahawks. We have the Chargers still left, the Ravens, the Vikings, the Jaguars, the Giants, the Bills, the Bengals, the Saints, and the Chiefs.
Well, they need a starting offense outside linebacker, right?
For the Seahawks.
Mm-hmm.
We need a defensive end, wide receiver, center, defensive tackle, or a quarterback. And
Nolan Smith in the combine ran a 4.39 40-yard dash, and little undersized is 6'2", 238. But I remember a linebacker from Kansas City, rest his soul. He was undersized too, and he was a monster. Mr. Thomas.
Wow.
Oh boy. Let's see. I believe we have Dalton in the green room. Is that who it is? Remy, if he's back there, please bring him on because he is a Bucs fan. He just texted me saying he's ready when I am. So let's see if Dalton's there, because if Dalton, this is my guy. Me and Akeem and Jeremiah, we all know our good friend Dalton. He is the biggest Bucs fan. I hope he's in here. If he's not, I'm gonna be very disappointed because I have to send text. Dalton!
How we doing?
He is here. Dalton.
What's up, man?
How we doing?
Listen, this is Dalton, everyone. The great Dalton. He is phenomenal. Biggest Bucs fan here. Dalton. The Bucs go defensive tackle. Yes, see, he got the whole Bucs logo and everything.
Make it a comeback next year.
They went defensive tackle, Dalton. What is your taking on that? What do you think?
I was disappointed, to be honest with you. Nolan Smith was available, and the Bucs were 32nd in pass rush last year. So I was really hoping for that pass rushing from the outside.
Yeah.
But we did lose some depth at defensive tackle. So I was okay with the pick, but I thought that there was better players on the board for us to take.
I agree. I was not looking defensive tackle for the Bucs. Of course, I was looking O-line. I definitely said linebacker and cornerback. And man, I don't know.
Yeah, the way Broderick Jones was dropping, I was hoping for him, but the Steelers went up and took him.
Yeah.
But how crazy has this draft been? I mean, 2 running backs in the top 12. I mean, who would have predicted that? I did not think Gibbs was going to go that high.
No,
But
I didn't. I wasn't thinking the Lions were going to get a running back. I didn't think they were going running back on that one. I was like, what?
Yeah, I mean, last year they did have Jamal Williams with DeAndre Swift. They liked that 2 running back look. So I think, I mean, if it fits their system,
yeah,
good.
We'll see for sure. I thought they were definitely going quarterback. Of course, we were thinking Gonzalez for sure, but the Patriots stole him. But
wow, he dropped far.
Very interesting. Like so far, I'm like, but Dawn, I know you're coming in here now, so let's just do a little recap. So 2 quarterbacks are off the board. Of course, we're not surprised. Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud, the first pick and the second pick. What is your take on that? The Panthers and Texans, are they moving in the right direction? Are these the quarterbacks that they needed?
I think it was a big step up for the Texans to take that key offensive player with their new head coach, DeMeco Ryans. And obviously they took the key defensive player, Will Anderson, with the 3rd pick. I thought it was a smart move by the Texans. I think the Jags are on the top of that division right now. But I agree. I think you're battling for second place with the Titans, the Colts, and the Texans. So I think the Texans, they have a good coaching staff now that can be consistent, and I think it's a great pickup for the Texans.
Yeah, like I said, I think the Texans and Panthers are both moving in the right direction. I think so far they've had a good offseason, getting some good pieces around. Of course, they got to put it together and build it up, but I'm really excited for this. But Dalton, to you, which team takes the L? Like, you're just like, wow, I wasn't thinking they were going to do that. Which team are you saying is like questionable?
To be honest with you, I think both of the Lions picks, I thought they had better needs. I thought Gonzalez was there for them early with that first pick. I thought that was a need for them after losing Jeff Okudah. So I thought that was definitely a need for the Detroit Lions. I don't know who they took in the last pick. Was it
they took Bijan, or not Bijan. They took
Jack Campbell.
Yeah.
Jack Campbell, the linebacker, number 18.
Yeah, I mean, he's another edge rusher. I'm surprised Nolan Smith is really dropping this far.
Right.
I mean, there has to be something that we don't know going around, because I thought he was the top pick, and that was the pick that I wanted the Bucks to pick. And I thought he could have gotten as early as the Packers, to be honest, who took Luke Van Ness.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is a terrible pick, but I did like Nolan Smith better. But yeah, I think the Lions are the ones that are questionable right now for me.
I don't know why my Packers went that way. I wasn't thinking that way. He's a good player. I do think he's a good player, but I'm like, we need a tight end. We need somebody like that, a big physical pass catching tight end, especially now that we have Jordan Love and Aaron's gone. But it's like, I don't know. We'll see how it works, but currently right now the pick is in for the Seattle Seahawks. Who are the Seahawks are going with, Dr. Cedric Brown? Now that we have the second pick for the Seahawks in the first round, which direction are the Seahawks going?
I mean, just like Nolan Smith is still there, defensively, because they need a defensive end, defensive tackle, a cornerback, a wide receiver, and a quarterback, right? I hope that they don't take Quentin Johnston from TCU, because I want him to be there when my Giants select.
Yeah.
So, it's a toss up. It's a toss up. You just like Dalton was saying, this has been a crazy draft. It's been a crazy draft, but it looks like it's coming in right now.
Okay, let's see. Pick is in. What are my Seahawks gonna do? Oh man, this is scary. I'm just glad I don't have to see the Cowboys on my screen. That's all I'm happy about, because they don't have a first round pick this year. But right now we're at the Seahawks. After that, we have the Chargers, the Ravens, the Vikings, the Jags, the Giants, the Bills, the Bengals, Saints, and then the Chiefs. So we had a comment earlier from Marshall. He's a Chiefs fan. he was saying he thinks his team is going wide receiver or D-line. And Dalton, just a heads up, we got some news from Jeremiah that the Chiefs are trying to look to get DeAndre Hopkins.
That'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to see what kind of trade package that they would have to get for DeAndre Hopkins. But
That's a big
Pat Mahomes and DeAndre Hopkins, that's a scary thought right there.
We went wide receiver. We went Jackson. Let's go.
From Ohio State.
Yep.
JSN went off the board.
Njigba. Jackson Njigba.
Woo!
That was to Seattle?
Yep.
To Seattle.
Wow. Geno Smith.
Look. We got DK. Tyler Lockett.
Ooh.
Dangerous. I think that's going to be really good. That's going to be really good. Now the Chargers are on the clock, so
this might be where the TCU wide receiver goes.
Exactly. You had to say it, Dalton. You just had to say it.
Sorry.
Cedric Brown, would you want your Giants to trade up for this? Or just
Absolutely. Trade up. Trade up and get him right now. Because, if we didn't have the Raiders tight end coming over, I would say Michael Mayer or go to Dalton Kincaid, for a tight end because we need a pass catcher. But, wide receivers left on the board. Jackson is off, but you have Jordan Addison from USC who's rated higher than Quentin. You have Zay Flowers at Boston College, and you have Josh Downs from North Carolina. So there's still some good receivers on the board.
Yes.
Josh Downs. Oh, my goodness.
And usually in drafts, you see when one receiver goes, then they just start coming.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
So you might see Addison or Quentin for sure here.
I think Addison gets picked up. He's in the backyard right there.
Yeah.
USC.
Nolan Smith is still there too.
Yeah, but they got Mac. They got Mac and Bosa.
Yep.
I mean, I guess if they want to look for the future, but I just think they want to be so dynamic on offense in that division that they need to go receiver. Allen's getting up there in age, and they need that second guy. So I think that's who they're going to try and go for.
And they have Kellen Moore as offensive coordinator now from the Cowboys. So
I'm not, I'm not scared about that because he was not a good offensive coordinator at the Cowboys. So that's nothing.
I'm just glad we don't have to see the Cowboys. I'm just so glad I can't stand them. That's the team I can't stand the most because they're gonna be talking. I can hear their fans talking now about, we don't have a first round pick. But I think the Chargers are in a very good position because right now, especially how they lost to Jacksonville, let Jacksonville come back like that. I think they need to get some good pieces around Justin Herbert. I think he's a very good young quarterback. He's one of the good younger quarterbacks that is in the league right now, and I think it's going to be a big deal. I would go wide receiver here. I would. I mean, Keenan Allen, like you said, Dalton, he's getting up there in age. They do have Mike Williams, which I think is a big deal. But if you had another person like that, they're going to be solid. They're going to be solid.
Jazz, who's the number 26 pick?
Number 26 is... Oh, is it? Hold on.
It's the boys.
Yeah.
Come on now.
It's the boys.
Oh.
They're right after my Cowboys and right before the Bills. The Bills are number 27.
They could be looking for receiver too.
But there's some talk like D-Hop that we're talking about. Maybe the Ravens have the next pick right now.
You're at 21. You got, is the pick in for the Chargers? Is it in?
No, not yet. They're still on the clock.
The Chargers are 21, and then the Ravens. That cornerback, best cornerback out there, Deonte Banks from Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
He's right there in the DMV.
Man, the Ravens do need an outside linebacker.
Let me see. corner, wide receiver, outside linebacker,
The wide receiver, I would Flowers.
defensive tackle, and quarterback.
They said quarterback too for the Ravens.
Yep.
Oh,
Will Levis?
No, I think
don't-
Will Levis is going Minnesota.
Yep, y'all are trying to get that man a contract. Will Levis. Let me see.
For the Chargers.
So the stats for Will Levis is that he was better in 21 as his QBR was better than, and his interception percentage was better in 21 than it was in 22.
Of course.
Well, I think Kentucky's offensive line was better in 2021, if I wasn't mistaken.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he was one of the most sacked college quarterbacks last season.
That's true. That is
So
true.
I think if he goes to a team like the Vikings, he sits under Kirk Cousins. They already have a great offensive line. I think the Vikings is a pretty good fit for Will Levis.
For him, yeah.
Well, he's up moving around right now. Is he going to the Chargers?
No.
If that we'll have to end the show right here.
Is he gonna go there and sit for 3 years or 4 years?
15 years?
First round is the question. So Dalton thinks yes because he thinks that he's going to the Vikings. What do you think, Akeem? Do you think he's going number one, or not number one, but in the first round?
Say it again.
Will Levis be in the first? Will he be drafted in the first round, or he's going to drop in the second?
I think he could possibly fall into the second round. He possibly could.
Quentin Johnston to Los Angeles.
Man.
Wow. That's a great pick for them. I know that stings for the Giants.
It's a great pick for them. You're right.
But now Addison could drop to the Giants.
Yep. Oh my gosh. That is crazy.
Hold on.
That is a big receiver, and he is a playmaker for sure.
A playmaker.
So, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Quentin Johnston, Justin Herbert. In that division,
they need it. You got to be able to You got to be able to keep up scoring. And
big receiver, man.
Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, they have health issues. They can't really stay healthy for a full season. You want to bring in that depth.
Yes.
I agree. So right now, Baltimore is on the clock. So we all know that Lamar signed a huge deal. Now he is the highest paid NFL player of all time. He eclipsed Jalen Hurts' contract. Finally, he is here. I know he's happy. They have Odell. So Dr. Cedric Brown, where are the Ravens going? Should they go receiver to really make Lamar really happy today?
Receivers left on the board right now: Jordan Addison, Zay Flowers, Boston College. So he's out there. Josh Downs, North Carolina. I mean, they could, but then you still have Joey Porter Jr. out there, who's one of the top cornerbacks.
Yep. I think here they should go cornerback or linebacker.
And Deontay Banks from Maryland, who's a cornerback in the DMV right there.
I think they need to go defense here. If I'm them, I would go defense because especially with the offense that they like to run, they should definitely go defense here. Definitely.
I think honestly, that they might go guard.
Guard?
You just signed your quarterback to 5 years. You have this run heavy style. Osiris Torrance could go here from Florida.
Okay.
And
I can't remember his name. It's like Peters. It's like Skorowski or something like that.
He went already to Tennessee Titans number 11.
Oh, he did. Okay,
he did.
You have
Anton Harrison.
Already.
Anton Harrison still left from Oklahoma.
Yep.
Oh yeah, the Cowboys are on the board. I can't believe I skipped. I think I did that on purpose. I think I did that on purpose. I truly do. You know what? We're going to end the show at the Cowboys. because at this point, I don't want to see. We just got to see what they got to do, man. So the Giants are coming in very quickly. So we have the Vikings, Jags, Giants, Cowgirls, Bills, Bengals, and Saints, and then the Chiefs. Well,
the Eagles and the Chiefs.
Oh, the Eagles and the Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Man, I was so disappointed when Bijan went to the Falcons.
Man.
Akeem
did call it though. Akeem did call it.
I'm gonna have to watch that for the next 6 years. Him just running all over us.
Get used to it.
Well, the Bucks got defensive tackle to combat it. So I mean,
yeah.
We'll see.
But
listen, the Bucks are on a down spiral right now. All right, I'm looking at like a 5-12 season next season. So
Dawn, who do you think is winning the division?
Saints.
Give us
Saints.
a little help. Give us a little help.
Say it again.
Akeem, do you think the Saints are winning the division?
The Saints?
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it past them, especially with what they're acquiring and stuff like that. But I still believe that we can do something in Temple.
Yeah, but let's bring on Jeremiah because I know he's our trade guy. He's the one that talks about the trades and what trades are happening. And it's been kind of quiet with the trades, Jeremiah. So, is there anything going on? It's kind of quiet now. We're getting towards the end, and people just oh, we're content where we are. What are you thinking? You're muted.
Yeah, most of these teams right now, they're mainly the phones are not off the hook right now because a lot of them are kind of solidified of what direction they're trying to go and really grade on their picks right now, especially when it comes to this first round. Don't be surprised about, of course, Will going to the Vikings because I really love that pick for Will Levis to go to the Vikings. I wouldn't be mad at that.
That means I have to deal with him for a couple years.
Because I know he could fall in the second round, but many sources are saying that Minnesota is probably looking for a quarterback. That's mostly the biggest news as far as trades or big moves that they are.
And I agree with Dalton too because I think it would be a situation where Kirk Cousins, there's some time ticking with him. There's some when are we gonna get that? When are we gonna get him to eclipse and get to the Super Bowl? Because he's been in the league for quite a minute now, and we're just waiting for him to turn that corner. It's getting to a point where, hey, you have a lot of talent and you haven't turned the corner. So
the fans already know, especially when it came to this last year, everything falling in your lap, leading your own division, for you guys to fall short of the first round, losing to the Giants because the Giants they played them as great as anything, especially in that
they
first
went
round.
on the road
Mm-hmm.
to Minnesota and beat them that way. I was really impressed.
And it was so many times that they got exposed, and I feel like for them, a new quarterback and a new change can really do great for this team. You're developing somebody just in case of Kirk Cousins. You have to tell him that's enough.
Now, just an update. I know we're talking football, but the Tampa Bay Lightning won tonight. So I'm really excited for that. I want us to go to 7.
Game 6.
Come on, Bolt. We have to beat the Maple Leafs because I'm tired of the Maple Leafs. I'm tired of them.
Florida's sticking in there.
They are. The Panthers and the Lightning hanging on. So, they're trying. But the pick is in for the Ravens. So we're going to see where the Ravens are going to go. Oh, boy.
I'm happy for Lamar. Lamar got 185 million guaranteed.
Man.
Let me write that.
Third highest ever. Murray got 189 and got 230.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Insane. Insane. And the market for the quarterbacks is just keep going up and up and up.
Yeah.
And now you're seeing guys like Bryce Young and CJ Stroud. There's gonna be years they're gonna be oh, we want more than they do.
Yeah, because remember,
it's gonna keep climbing.
Because remember, during the pandemic, Patrick
Zay
Mahomes,
Flowers
he broke that.
goes to Ravens.
Wow.
Said it.
They're making Lamar very happy right now.
I said it.
That's a great pickup for them. That's an awesome pickup for them.
I called it. Zay Flowers. Zay Flowers.
Ooh, wow.
South Florida guy.
Shout out to the Ravens. The Ravens are making some big moves today. They're making some big moves today. Shout out to them. Next, we have the Vikings. The Vikings are now on the clock. Vikings, they need a cornerback, wide receiver, defensive tackle, quarterback, and guard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy. So, Dalton, the Ravens go wide receiver, Zay Flowers. What are your thoughts on that?
Speed. They want the speed on the outside now. You add Odell Beckham. He's probably going to play a little slot. Now you got that speedster on the outside with Zay Flowers. I love the pickup.
They're making Lamar very happy.
Oh yeah.
The past couple of weeks.
Oh yeah.
He just like your guy that used to be at Kansas City, and now at Miami.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill, yeah.
Little bitty speedster, speed demon.
Yep.
And by the way, Joey Porter is still on the board, and the Vikings need a cornerback.
4 or
You
5.
potentially see that, maybe.
Yeah, there's a lot of routes the Vikings can go here. Do they go Addison, add with Justin Jefferson?
Yep.
They lost Thielen. Do they need a receiver then? Do they go Levis, build for the future quarterback? Or do they go defensive back?
Mm-hmm.
See, I told they just made the comparison to Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Speedster.
But that's what I think the Ravens need too. They need that speedster. Of course, you're gonna have Odell. He's gonna do what he's gonna do. But you add Zay Flowers in the mix now with the running game, and then those guys on the outside, and then of course Mark Andrews is still there. I mean, that guy is still there playing lights out. But I think what the Ravens are doing, I think they're doing some good stuff on offense. I think later on in the draft, I think they can go get some defensive pieces for sure and just shore up some things. But I think the Ravens are in a good spot. They're in a good spot, especially in the division where you have Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. You got to be able to combat it and stuff like that. So I think that's a good pickup for the Ravens. But it's funny because the Packers didn't pick up any offense. But I'm gonna leave it alone.
That's usual.
Usual. Okay. The Vikings are still on the clock, so we'll see what they're gonna go. But we're gonna go to a short break, and when we come back out, we're gonna see who the Vikings are gonna pick. We still have the Jaguars on the board. We have the Giants on the board. We have the Cowboys on the board. We have the Bills, Bengals, and Saints, Eagles, and Chiefs still on the board. So when we come back, we're gonna see what the Vikings are going to do.
Renting is everything. It's style at your doorstep, off the runway and into your closet. It's every trend you've been dying to try and every designer you've yet to discover. It's wearing it your way every time and making it count everywhere you go. It's never worrying about what to wear because something new is always coming your way. That's why renting is everything. New styles, top designers, all for a flat monthly fee. Start your subscription at renttherunway.com.
Slow roasted over hickory fire and pulled by hand. This is the way pit pork has always been done. Pulled pork lovers, rejoice. The smoky old days are back at the Smoke Shack. From the creative team that brought you the Browning Project and Dead by Morning comes a new thriller that will change the way you look at white-collar crime forever. Falling from the Sky.
You're watching Jasmine Pollock's First Impressions Sports Talk. Be sure to join Jasmine every week for great conversation on the NBA, NFL, and a wide variety of sports topics. To see past episodes of First Impressions Sports Talk, go to YouTube and search First Impressions Sports Talk. You can connect with Jasmine on LinkedIn by searching Jasmine Pollock. And now, back to more First Impressions Sports Talk.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Jasmine's First Impressions Sports Talk. Please share your comments about your favorite team and what picks that your team should pick and what position do they need to improve on. I have a great show for you guys right now. We're having a wonderful time talking about sports, talking about these different picks, and a lot of great athletes that are coming out of college. So let's bring back everybody on. Right now, we're still watching what Minnesota is going to do.
They're so
they
good.
still haven't made a pick yet. So we're definitely looking to see what's going to happen because we all know Baltimore just picked Zay Flowers, the speedster out of Boston College, to help, Lamar Jackson on the outside along with Odell Beckham Jr. And right now, Vikings still haven't picked, so we're still waiting to see that. But let's talk about the next team, which is the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, we see them go to the divisional round. We see them battle it out with the Chiefs, and they were a couple plays away from winning, but there's still some youth there. So, Dawn, I want to start with you. Where do you see Jacksonville next season, and where do you think the ceiling is for them next year?
Well, I honestly think they're going to win the division. I mean, Colts, Texans, Titans, like I said earlier, they're all rebuilding, and the Jags are ready to win now. They got Calvin Ridley next year. They lost their left tackle and Juwan Taylor.
Yeah.
Went to the Chiefs. You could see him go O-line here or for the next pick. But I think with the Trevor Lawrence and Doug Peterson, I think that's a dynamic duo that's going to win them a lot of ball games next year.
Absolutely. And then, of course, they got Travis Etienne back there in the backfield that can run the ball like crazy.
Hopefully he can stay healthy.
Brown, what about you? Where do you think the Jags are going to go, and where do you think they stand in the division and where they're going to go next year? What do you think? I don't know if he heard me. Jeremiah, you heard me?
Yeah.
You can go ahead.
For me, for the Jacksonville, I think their ceiling is pretty bright. I was just saying for them to have a way better start than they did last season. That was their biggest hurdle.
They should start off a lot better. I think they will.
Because they're in the same boat when it comes to Detroit with their bad starts. They'll have the bad starts and then they'll play always catch up at the end of the day. Because just during this last season, Jacksonville was just saying after one of their losses that was very embarrassing, their coach sat with them and just be like, listen, we had to dial in. Then after that, it was like they had win after win after win after win. And it was at the perfect time because remember that game that they came back against the Cowboys and won in overtime.
Yeah.
And just from there on, even the game that they have against the Chargers, they have great potential. It's just all about putting that together all in one, like especially throughout the regular season so you can actually get a higher seed than what you did from last time.
Yes, I agree. I think and I like Jacksonville. I do. I try to root for every Florida team I can. Even though I'm a Packers fan, I try to root for, the home state and everything. But I really am rooting for the Jaguars. I've always liked the Jaguars. I think what they've done over the years and how they're building the team up, I think they're doing a very, very good job. And I think the future is very bright. They have a very good coach, a very good young quarterback that's going to take them far. He can battle with anybody. I mean, we've seen what he can do. But speaking of which, right now, the Minnesota Vikings pick is in. Selection is made. They went Jordan Addison out of USC wide receiver.
Wow.
Hey.
Really?
Yep.
They're going to get that dynamic. Second receiver, they lost
Thielen.
They add Addison. That's my dad. Those are some of my classmates. How about Paulo, baby? An auto Paulo. Magic, baby.
Nice.
But yeah, this
Talk about the draft. It's a
this
show.
draft has been interesting. This draft has been very interesting.
I have no clue who the Bucks drafted. I have no idea who that guy is.
Man. So now the team we were talking about before, Jacksonville, is on the clock. So the needs that they need are defensive end, cornerback, tight end, linebacker, and wide receiver. Could we see a situation where they do get Dalton Kincaid?
I would love that. I would love that for them. Really would love that from, especially what he did in Utah this last season. Like I said earlier, it was huge.
Oh, wait a minute. We have a draft. I mean, not a draft, a trade. And it's the Giants.
Yes, the Giants moved up one spot.
Dr. Cedric Brown. They moved up one spot.
They trying to.
Yeah.
There you go.
What are the Giants about to do?
Yeah, little Tiki Barber right here.
Tiki Barber, that's fun. Hey.
Barber.
So they moved up. So let me see. Cornerback Joey Porter Jr., offensive lineman. There's Anton Harrison from Oklahoma, wide receiver. Jordan Addison's off the board. Josh Downs from Carolina. Ooh, defensive tackle or defensive. You still got Nolan Smith though from Georgia, and Miles Murphy from Clemson, and then tight end you got Michael Mayer and Dalton Kincaid.
Wait a minute, Giants have back-to-back picks.
Oh, they traded up. They back-to-back.
Yeah, they have back-to-back picks.
So they traded their second round or their third round pick.
Yeah,
yes.
They still have that. They still have the 26th pick.
Wow.
So they have the 24th and the 25th pick. They have the 24th and the 25th pick, man.
So we have the needs for the Giants: wide receiver, center, cornerback, inside linebacker, and defensive tackle. So Joey Porter, he's still on the board. He's still there.
If they don't take Joey Porter with these two picks, then I don't know, man.
Yeah.
They need to fire everybody.
I agree.
My mom is gonna be super excited because I'm gonna tell her everything. Oh, the pick is in. Oh.
Let's go, Joey Porter Jr.
Come on, Giants, because I have to root for the Giants. You know, family ties. Family ties.
And if that one don't work, we can put up. Let's put on. We can put up. There we go. There we go.
Beanie.
We got the props. We got the props. Let's go, Giants. Let's go.
Oh man.
Let's go.
Hey, do they still have back-to-back picks, or did they just move up one spot?
No, I think they have back-to-back.
They have back-to-back. Yep, they have back-to-back. Actually, no, they just updated it. It's Jaguars.
So it's for one spot.
It delayed. Awesome.
They just swapped.
Should be.
And if that one don't work, Jazz, we're gonna go with the American, you know, so we can be, you know, one with the soldiers, you know.
Oh goodness.
Absolutely. So
hey guys, I have a prediction. It might be the craziest prediction. What if Will Levis goes to Dallas?
That'll be good.
Be interesting.
That'll be good.
It's the craziest idea, but I'm just like, what if? What if? Because who else is left? We have Jags, Cowboys, Bills, Bengals, Saints, and Eagles and Chiefs.
Yeah.
That'll cause some controversy, I think, if he does go there.
Let's go. Come on now. Let's get a good pick here.
All right, come on, Giants. Let's see what they're gonna do.
Let's get a good pick here. I can go with Josh Downs at wide receiver. I can go that.
Would they trade up for that though? That's the question.
Yeah, Quentin Johnston,
but
though.
who's? I mean, you know, Nolan Smith is left though. Nolan Smith is left.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
So shocking.
Nolan Smith is left though. It's not like we were a great run stop team last year.
Yeah, and you already have a dominant D line to start with.
Yeah.
You just be adding to the fire.
To who?
To the Giants.
I'm waiting on my thing.
Secondary, Joey Porter. Schefter says they moved up one slot. They moved up one slot to improve their secondary. Let's get it. Let's see.
Come
Joey
on.
Porter Jr. or Deontay Banks. Talking to the coach right now.
Come on, Giants. Stop holding out, because
has Brian Branch been drafted yet?
No.
Wow.
Man, come on, Giants. Let's see what they're doing. Finished 9-7-1 last year, third in the NFC East. So let's see. The pick is in. Come on. I just can't believe Nolan Smith is still out there. I'm really shocked he's dropping this much.
Deontay Banks from Maryland, Joey Porter from Penn State.
They need a wide receiver, so they need wide receiver, center, cornerback, inside linebacker, and defensive tackle.
So interesting why they didn't trade up to take the receivers.
Mm-hmm.
They trade up one pick with Jacksonville.
Because Jacksonville needed a corner too, so they probably thought that they would take one of those two corners, and they wanted to trade up to get them.
Giants got Deontay Banks, cornerback.
Deontay Banks.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Dang, Joey. I feel bad.
Wow.
How do you feel about that one?
Yes. How do you?
Well, I mean, he's one of the top 5, you know, that was on the board to start the whole night. So I mean, if you get one of the top 5, you can't go too wrong.
Just traded again to Buffalo.
Who did?
Jacksonville just traded again to Buffalo.
Yeah.
They might be thinking either Dalton Kincaid's gonna be there or Michael Mayer.
Yeah.
You know
it's
what?
gonna be that deep.
Dalton.
And he's a press corner too. He come up and jam you on the line. He's a press corner.
The Bills need a cornerback. They need a linebacker. They need a wide receiver. They need a guard, and they need a defensive tackle.
Yeah, I would say they should go for a wide receiver.
Kenzie's not there anymore, and then a lot of their defensive guys left. A lot of them left.
I think most of the receivers though might be out that we're gonna go in the first. So we could see corner here.
Yeah, I'll say cornerbacks because they struggled with that a lot last season.
Maybe even Nolan Smith, to be honest.
Yeah, they need a line. They need they need an inside linebacker.
The Bills just moved up.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So Jacksonville I don't know why Jacksonville's doing that.
They must think that their guy's going to be there late. Like they don't think their guy that they want to go for isn't going to. They're just gaining picks. So I mean, you can't complain with that.
Will Levis is still on the board.
That's shocking. He might not make it to the first round.
So bad.
Earlier,
because he told
if he's staying in the first round. That was the question.
Because he was keep saying, telling his family, I'm getting picked top 10.
That's what he said?
Yes, and it was bad because he was saying, I'm a lock for top 10. He was telling all of his relatives, all of his family, and I'm like, he is there right now. He's sitting with his suit. He's still there.
I don't think he might not get picked. Who's the rest of the teams?
So we have Bills,
Nope.
Cowboys.
Nope.
Let me see here because this is the updated version. So we have Bills right now, Cowboys, Jacksonville, Bengals, Saints, Eagles, Chiefs.
If you're the Cowboys, would you get him though?
No.
Well,
that would be very troublesome though. If that does happen, that's going to turn Dallas upside down.
They have more needs than a backup.
Yeah, I would say.
In my
I do
opinion.
think they need a running back, but I don't know who they could get at running back.
The rest of these teams that's left, I really can't see.
Running backs left are Zach Charbonnet from UCLA, Devin Ashane from Texas A&M, and Tajay Spears from Tulane. Out of the top 5 that were on the board,
they're decent. Those are some decent. There's some decent backs. They need a tight end because Dalton Schultz is not there anymore.
Oh, then they're definitely taking tight end then.
Kincaid.
The Cowboys or Mayer. I mean,
that's true.
Mayer's probably more that fit for Jerry Jones and his son.
Yeah.
Notre Dame.
It says they need a wide receiver.
I just don't think there's any more first-round talent left on the board, in my opinion.
The only wide receiver left is Josh Downs from North Carolina.
Yeah.
Top 5 that were on the board.
Then Dallas also needs an inside linebacker and a cornerback.
Would you say they could also get a tight end since?
Or if the Bills don't get Porter, do you think Dallas would get Porter?
I don't know. I feel like Dallas they could go guard here.
Yeah.
Because Zach Martin is getting up there in age.
That's true.
And so they could go Osiris Torrance maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But
the Bills pick is in right now. Oof.
I have no idea who the Bills could take here. All the receivers are gone. I mean, Nolan Smith would be a great act. They don't have a great pass rush. They have Gregory Rousseau, but the other side's pretty empty.
Yeah.
So you could see Nolan Smith there.
So they have cornerback left. Of course, Joey Porter Jr. still there. Guard, and then defensive tackle.
The green room is empty. And they got your boy Levis still in the green room.
Hey, he's sitting there all night.
He's not getting drafted this guy. There's no way. There's no
now,
way.
Do you come back the next night if you don't get drafted in the first round?
Like, I'm getting drafted.
I don't.
Top 10.
I don't.
No, I'm not. I'm hitting
don't.
the gym immediately and trying to find any open work as I can. Because I'm not picking up my phone for any of my friends.
Hey, it's a humbling experience. Hopefully it makes them work harder. And,
didn't Aaron Rodgers go through the same thing?
He did.
Yeah, he did.
But is Will Levis Aaron Rodgers?
Never.
I don't know.
Lamar went all the way to the last pick.
Yeah.
Yep. And look, he's the highest paid quarterback or player in the NFL.
Yeah, but I would say the only difference is they didn't talk like Will.
That's true. But still, just imagine Brock Purdy last draft. Look what he did. And
he put mayonnaise in his coffee, Jazz.
Ooh,
and eats bananas with the peels
and he
on.
ate bananas with the peels on it, Jazz.
The Bills select tight end Dalton Kincaid.
That's
Dalton Kincaid.
Nice.
Just overpowering that offense. Pairing him with Dawson Knox.
Yeah, with Knox and then him back to back. Jeez Louise.
I want the Packers to get him. Okay. After Dallas is over, we're gonna
from Utah.
All right.
So that means they must have jumped. They must have jumped the Cowboys because they thought the Cowboys were going to go tight end.
Right.
So
yeah, I could see that.
you could see Mayer go here for the Cowboys.
Right.
The Cowgirls are on the board. They are on the board. Like I said, the running back, tight end, wide receiver, linebacker, inside
He's
linebacker.
a pretty big tight end. 6'4", 246.
Yes.
Dang, him and Michael Mayer is 6'5", 249.
You're big fellas.
Yeah.
Where is Brock Bauer at?
Oh, that's next year. He'll be top 5 pick.
Oh,
okay.
So he's staying. Okay, because I was like, Brock Bauer's
I was like, what is going on?
He will be a top 5 pick next year.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
he's coming off. He's coming off the board early.
That would have been crazy.
Yes.
But he's gonna go to a terrible team unless somebody trades up for him.
Yeah.
He's a monster. He's a monster.
I mean, if you think of a team like will Houston still have a top 5 pick next year? I don't know.
Hey, that's a good idea. Where is Jerry Jones going this night? I wonder.
He's going box office. I can already see it. He's trying to find something that's box office.
If he wants to go box office and he wants to blow people's minds, he'll go Will Levis here, but I doubt it. I doubt it.
Let me see Skip's Twitter right now.
Oh, Skip will go crazy.
Let me see his Twitter. Bayless Twitter right now. Let me see.
Yeah. Dallas will be on fire tonight.
Oh, he said, oh guys, oh my goodness. He said, the Bills just trade up ahead of the Cowboys. No, I was one pick away from Dalton Kincaid, and Buffalo leapfrogged my Cowboys and stole him right out from under Jerry's upturned nose. Devastating.
So they're either tied. So I have a feeling they're gonna go either tied in, or the surprising thing, maybe Levis.
It's gonna be Michael Mayer. It's gonna be Michael Mayer.
If Dallas goes Will Levis, I'm gonna laugh so hard.
It's gonna be Michael Mayer.
I hope they go Michael Mayer, but if they go Will Levis, man,
I can see him going guard.
Mad. Yeah, Skip is not happy.
I just got a tweet and it said, I believe this is why Porter Jr. is sliding. Really struggled versus in breakers and needs a specific scheme, but can be dominant in that specific scheme. So maybe it's just not a right scheme fit for the teams that are passing him.
Yeah, that's true. Skip said, please don't, this was like an hour ago, but he said, please don't take Dalton Kincaid for Aaron. Well, he's not going to the Cowboys.
So he's off the board.
Dallas taking a sweet time.
No safeties have been taken. Brian Branch, Alabama. Antonio Johnson, Texas A&M. Sidney Brown, Illinois. Jordan Battle, Alabama. And Anthony Johnson, Jr., Iowa State.
So we have a question from our producer. She asked, how do teams, let's see, and I'll answer that question for her. Let me answer this for her. How do you get to pick first, like the teams? Well, it depends on your record. Your record could be horrible. So the worst teams usually pick first. Then the last teams, as you go within the draft, barring a trade, then the teams that are better, the best teams pick last.
Right.
So that's how it usually works. But sometimes teams trade and do kind of crazy stuff like that. Oh, Dalton, I didn't ask you. What did you think about Jalen Carter going to the Eagles?
They're going to be dominant. They're going to be scary. That inside, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Fletcher Cox. They did lose Hargrave to the Niners, but they just added another piece in Jalen Carter. I think it's a great fit. He's going to a team that's Super Bowl ready right now.
Yes.
So I think it was a great pickup for the Eagles.
I do too. And I think, when they were talking about his off the field issues, like I said earlier, I think when you have veterans like that, like Fletcher Cox and guys like that, they're going to wrap around him. And Nick Sirianni, I'm as a head coach, I think he's going to be dominant. I mean, he was dominant in college, and then you add that a piece, I think they're going to be that much better. I think it's a very good fit for him. And when they traded up, I was like, man, he's sitting right there because Dr. Cedric Brown called it. He called it. Ooh,
the Bears were like,
yeah,
hey, we're about to take this guy.
Right.
What are you going to offer for him? And they got the trade done. And I think the Bears took who they really wanted, which was Darnell Wright.
Yeah. The pick is in for the Cowboys. Woo. Where are they going to go with this? Because, oh, man, what is Jerry Jones going to do? Let me look at
Mess it up. Mess it up.
Take a guard.
Yeah, they showed a live view of them inside of the room. All of them just look confused and look like they're ready for a nap. Especially Jerry. He is in the middle.
Yeah.
It's like a 60th draft.
Need to take some Metamucil and go ahead and lay it on down.
Skip said, I've been saying it since October. Dalton Kincaid is going to be a star. He has some Kelsey in him.
Yes.
He was made for America's team. Now he shuffles off to Buffalo.
Hey, but he got Josh Allen over there though, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Hey.
Dak, nah.
I agree.
Oh, man.
But you can't move on with them now.
Yeah.
You signed him to so much money. We're just going to have to wait it out.
And it's going to cause more controversy because questions and rumors are going to keep spreading.
Yep.
But honestly, do we think Dak is the answer for the Cowboys?
No.
Not to win a Super Bowl.
He's good enough to win games, like regular season stuff, but Super Bowl, there's games where he has against the Bucs in the playoffs, and then there's games he has against the 49ers. I've seen it too much. The Cowboys go defensive tackle Mozzie Smith out of Michigan.
Never. I'm done.
What?
I'm done.
That's such a
where did defensive tackle come from?
What? Oh my! You can't be happy about that.
They need to be scoring points,
especially in that division. Like, come on.
Listen. Hey, Jazz, I gotta get up early in the morning so I can go see my daughter play. I want to thank you for allowing me to be on the show. It was fun, Dalton. It was great meeting you.
Great meeting you.
Jeremiah, my man, always good.
Always a pleasure.
And I appreciate you, Jazzy.
Yes.
You are the best, and your future so bright. You should have on Jeremiah shades.
Amen.
I need some shades.
I appreciate you. And I will see you later. Thank you so much.
Of course. Thank you.
All right.
Well,
everyone,
that concludes this job. I know we have some more picks, but I'll get to that tomorrow. I'll do a Pollock's Points in a tweet about it. But thank you, Dalton. Thank you, Jeremiah. Thank you, Jay, Cole, my dad, Akeem, Leon, Remy, Oren, everyone that was involved tonight. Thank you so much. And for giving you guys insight about your favorite teams, for, just giving your expertise about this great night in sports. The draft will continue tomorrow and after that, and we're really excited to see what these teams are going to do. My Packers have failed me yet again, but we are going to be better. We're going to be better. That wraps up this special edition of First Impression Sports Talk. See you guys on Monday for more. You guys have a wonderful night, and thank you for spending time with me. Have a good one.